A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Rochester, Dennis A., Bob Crosby, and yours truly, Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, last Thursday was Thanksgiving, and Jack invited his whole gang over for dinner. But let's go back to the day before Thanksgiving. As we look in on Jack's home, he and Rochester are taking inventory. Make sure that they have enough of everything for the big event. They're checking all the items in the pantry. As Rochester calls them off, Jack is writing them down.
2 cans of corned beef hash.
2 cans of corned beef hash.
3 cans of cranberry sauce.
3 cans of cranberry sauce.
2 bottles of A1 sauce.
2 bottles of A1 sauce.
97 bottles of olives.
Wait a minute, Rochester. Isn't that the same amount of olives that we had last year?
Yeah, we don't use any since Phil Harris left the show.
Oh, yes, Bob Crosby isn't a martini man. Continue, Rochester.
2 bottles of vanilla extract.
2 bottles of vanilla extract.
1 bottle of Lydia Pinkham.
1 bottle of Lydia Pinkham.
12 slices of white bread.
12 slices of white bread.
7 slices of whole wheat bread.
7 slices of whole wheat bread.
Oh, say, boss.
What is it, Rochester?
When we come to the toothpicks, let's just estimate.
Okay for the plain ones, but the colored ones will count. Now, let's finish this.
Yes, there's 6 bottles of ketchup.
6 bottles of ketchup.
6 bottles of chili sauce.
6 bottles of chili sauce.
3 cans of Puss in Boots cat food.
3 cans of Puss in Boots cat food.
Boss, why have we got that?
I borrowed it from the Colemans.
But we haven't got a cat. Why did you borrow it?
Well, they were out of butter, and I didn't want to leave empty-handed. We'll use it someday. Continue.
1 sack of Idaho potatoes.
1 sack of Idaho. Rochester, answer the door. I'll finish the inventory.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Rochester.
Oh, hello, Miss Livingston. Welcome to Ralph's Supermarket.
What?
Come right in.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. What are you doing up on that stool?
I'll be finished in a minute. I'm just putting some stuff back on the top shelf. Would you please hand me those 2 jars of caviar?
Oh, fine. Fish eggs from a frightened mackerel, and he calls it caviar.
Mary, why do you have to come over here?
Jack, look out. The stool. The cans are falling.
Ooh.
Jack, are you hurt?
No, I'm all right. What are you laughing at?
With those fish eggs in your ear, you look like you're going upstream to spawn.
Upstream to spawn, upstream to spawn. A man nearly killed himself, and you talk about romance. Now, I don't care. Answer that, will you, please?
Okay. Hello, Mr. Benny's residence.
Hey, Mary, how come you're answering the phone? You got new clause in your contract?
No, Bob. Jack would have answered it, but he can't. He's lying on the floor.
Oh, holy smoke, he's getting as bad as my musician.
It isn't that at all. He fell off a stool.
Oh, well, that's what the boys in the band do.
Look, Bob, it's kind of hard to explain, but he fell while checking some stuff in the pantry.
The pantry?
Yeah, he's making sure he's enough of everything for his big Thanksgiving dinner. You're coming, aren't you?
Oh, sure. I bought my ticket 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that was smart. There's no sense waiting till the last minute when the scalpers get hold of them. Just a minute, Bob. Let's talk to Jack. Jack, it's Bob Crosby.
I'll take it. Hello, Bob.
Say, Jack, I wonder if you could give me a couple of extra tickets to next week's broadcast.
Well, I might be able to scrape up two. Who are they for?
Well, to tell you the truth, they're for Remley, but he was afraid to ask you.
Well, he should be after what happened last time. He gave that ticket to his girl, and she almost started a riot in the studio. Imagine her walking up and down the aisle doing a thing like that.
Oh, but that wasn't her fault, Jack. The band never should have played A Pretty Girl Is Like a Melody.
All right, but where did she get the balloon? Where did she get the balloon?
Where'd you get the pin?
Never mind. All right, Bob, I'll give you the tickets at rehearsal.
Thank you, Jack. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bob always has to call me when I'm busy. Oh, Rochester.
What is it, boss?
I knocked over all these cans when I fell off the stool. Will you pick them up while I go on with the inventory?
Yes, sir.
Mary, will you please help me? I'll call off the items and you write them down.
Oh, sure, Jack.
5 bottles of vinegar.
5 bottles of vinegar.
3 bottles of real lemon juice.
3 bottles of real lemon juice.
4,500 cans of Minute Maid orange juice.
4,500 cans of Minute Maid orange juice.
Wasn't that a wonderful guest spot I did on Bing's program? I had to give 500 cans to my agent, you know. Now, let's keep going, Mary. 1 leg of lamb.
1 leg of lamb.
2 packages of bacon.
2 packages of bacon.
1 side of beef.
Jack, that's me.
Oh, hello, Don.
Hello, Jack. Hi, Mary.
Hello, Don.
Jack, I know you're very busy, but I brought the Sportsman Quartet with me. They want to run over the commercial for the program.
That's nice. And by the way, Don, I hope I didn't forget to invite you and the Sportsman to Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, no, you invited us. Jack, I feel awfully popular this year.
Popular?
Yeah, besides your invitation, I've been invited to Harry Von Zell's house, Dinah Shore's house, and Jimmy Wallington's house for Thanksgiving dinner, too.
Which one are you going to?
All of them.
Silly me. Well, Don, I'm really kind of busy getting things ready for my dinner.
Well, Jack, this commercial won't take very long, and it's in keeping with the Thanksgiving spirit.
Oh, well, then let's hear it.
All right, take it, fellas.
I thank you, my darling. I offer thanks to you, dear. Thanks for all the lovely delight I found in your embrace. I'm thankful, though I know it's ending all too soon. And thanks for unforgettable nights I never can replace. And memories that linger like a haunting tune. It is better to have loved you, dear, and lost than never to have loved at all. It is better, for no matter what the cost, I held the world in sway, an emperor for a day. And thanks for all those luckies we shared, each puff a real delight. Now thanks to you, a lucky is the smoke I light. Quite a lucky, it's a fresher, smoother smoke that's made of fine tobacco too. Papa Lucky, you like Lucky's better taste, and there are no loose ends to ever annoy your friends. So thanks again for putting me wise to smoking paradise, for changing me to LSD. My thanks, I really thank you. Thanks for all those good old lucky strikes.
That was great, Don. Very, very good.
Ah, thanks, Jack. Well, guess I better be getting on home.
Well, I'll walk to the door with you.
Okay.
Say, Don, I've been wanting to ask you something for a long time.
What is it, Jack?
Well, even though the Sportsmen have been with me 5 years now, I never did find out how they formed their group. Funny, I've never asked you about that.
That's quite an interesting story, Jack. It started up in Las Vegas, you
Las
see.
Vegas?
Yeah. 2 of the boys were singing as a duet in the Flamingo, and 2 of them were singing as a duet at the Sahara.
Uh-huh.
And just by chance, they got together and formed a quartet.
Well, I'll be darned. 2 and 2. They made poor the hard way, didn't they? Well, so long, Don. See you and the boys Thursday.
So long.
Well, I better go back and finish the inventory. Say, Mary.
Just a minute, Jack. Go ahead, Rochester.
12 cans of crushed pineapple.
12 cans of crushed pineapple.
19 cans of condensed milk.
19 cans of condensed milk.
2,456 cans.
Cans? Cans of what?
Just cans, Mr. Benny. Don't throw nothing away.
Certainly not. I pay them and hang them on Christmas trees. Now, Mary, I can finish this up with Rochester, so...
Shall I answer it, boss?
No, don't bother getting down from the stool. I'll answer it. I have to get this inventory finished before we...
Oh, Mr. Benny, I just came over to ask you if you...
Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello. Mr. Benny, I just come over to ask you if you...
How do you feel, kid?
Fine. Mr. Benny, I just come over to ask you if you...
Close the door, will you, Dennis?
Okay.
Now, Dennis, what did you... Dennis, how do you like that? He locked himself out. Oh, well. Come in.
Oh, Mr. Benny, I just come over to ask you if it would be all right
Dennis,
with you
when I told you to close the door, I meant you should come in first.
Oh.
Now, what did you want to ask me?
If I could use your phone, our house is on fire.
Now, Dennis, don't be silly. If your house is on fire, why would you come all the way to Beverly Hills to use the phone?
I want the firemen to think I'm a big shot.
Dennis, close the door, will you? Just my luck. This time he stayed on the inside. Now, look, kid, I'm busy, so don't bother me with all these silly things you make up. Come on, Mayor, let's finish this inventory.
Okay.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yes.
I thought you were cleaning house like my mother did the other day.
I'm not cleaning house.
Boy, did she get rid of a lot of stuff. She threw some old curtains out of the living room, a broken rocking chair out of the bedroom, and she even took the moose head out of the shower.
Now, Mary, let's... Dennis, she took what out of the shower?
The moose head.
You're going to ignore that, eh, Mary?
I certainly am.
My father put it there, but my
Wait a
mother...
minute, Dennis. Wait a minute. Hold it a minute. I know I'll regret asking you this. But why would your father put a moose head in the shower?
The other end would look silly.
Well, that I can understand. Now, Dennis, besides your house being on fire and your father being in a shower with a moose, what else is new?
Well, I've been rehearsing my song all week. Would you like to hear it?
I'd love to. Anything. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hold it a minute, Dennis.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Mel Blanc.
Hello, Mel. What is it?
Mr. Benny, I've been on your program for 10 years now, and I ain't never complained before, but this time I gotta.
What's the matter?
It's about the part you got me playing in Sunday's show. Some part, oh, brother.
Now, wait a minute, Mel. Sunday's program is about Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Yeah?
And what's the most important thing connected with Thanksgiving?
A turkey.
Well, that's the part you're playing.
Well, I don't like it. Always you make me an animal. Why can't I have a talking part and be a human being?
Look, Mel.
Sometimes you make me a rabbit.
A rabbit?
What's up, Doc?
Look, Mel.
Or a woodpecker?
Mel. Look, Mel. Mel, look, I'm busy.
Once you even cast me as an English horse.
An English horse?
Oh.
Mel, I'm sorry, just that you have to play the parts that are needed.
You may not realize it, Mr. Benny, but I'm pretty important to you.
Important?
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, you'd never get any place.
What are you talking about? I wouldn't get any place.
Every time you start that lousy Maxwell, I almost break a blood vessel going... That's all the things I do on a program. Now I want some talking parts. I'm a human being.
Now, look, Mel, either you stop this complaining or I'll let you go.
You wouldn't fire me.
All right. But Sunday you're playing a turkey, and that's final.
What made you so mad at Mel, Jack?
Oh, he's always complaining. I got a half a notion to fire him.
You better not. He's too important to the show.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Go ahead and sing, Dennis. Very good. Now, just sit down for a few minutes. I want to finish my inventory.
We've got it all listed, boss, and you've got plenty of everything for the Thanksgiving dinner.
Good. We won't have to do any shopping then.
How big a turkey did you get?
Turkey? I knew I forgot something.
You mean you forgot to buy the turkey?
Yeah, but there's still plenty of time.
Oh, don't wait till the last minute. You ought to go and get one right now.
Well, will you go with me, Mary?
Sure, let's go.
I'll stay here.
Good. Gee, Mary, we're having a break in the weather lately. It's such a lovely day, you know?
Yes, we usually do have good weather around Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Oh, Mary, look over there at those boys playing football.
Hey, Joey, take it to me now.
They're nice kids, Mary. They're in my Beverly Hills Beavers Club, you know? The bigger one is Stevie Kent. His folks live on the corner. Every time I go for a walk, I stop and talk with him. Hey, Stevie! Throw the ball over here!
Huh? Oh, Mr. Benny. Here it comes. Look out. I think it's too high. You'll have to run for it. Faster. You better jump for it. Wow. What a catch.
Say, that was a good catch, Mary. How'd you do it?
I don't know, but you could buy me a new girdle for Christmas.
I will.
Say, Mr. Benny, you know, you haven't been to a single meeting of the Beavers Club since the 1st of September.
I know, Stevie. It's unfortunate that you hold your meetings on Sunday afternoon because, you see, every Sunday I do a radio program and every third Sunday I do a television show.
Oh. Well, you know you get fined a nickel for every meeting you miss.
I know. I've been trying to get my broadcast changed. Well, we'll talk about it later. Come on, Mary. We better get down to the market. See, these supermarkets are so big, I always get lost in them.
Jack, there's the poultry department over there.
Oh, yes. Come on, Mary. Let's walk over to the counter and we'll,
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Well, Mr. Kessler. Mr. Kitzel, what are you doing working in the poultry department?
Well, I got the job on account of my uncle.
Oh, he owns the market?
No, I owe him money.
Oh, well, look, Mr. Kitzel, I want to buy a turkey. Are they very expensive? You mean they're that high?
Come here a minute.
Huh?
Step closer. Do you know what turkeys are selling for today?
No.
Come a little closer.
Huh?
Lean over a little.
What?
63 cents a pound.
Well, why did you have to bring me over there?
I don't want the turkeys to get conceited.
Gee, 63 cents a pound. That's a lot of money for turkeys.
Say, they got to live too.
I suppose so. Say, Mary, look at those turkeys lying there, so cold and still. Just think, a few days ago they were happy, carefree, and gay. And now they're 63 cents. Now they're dead. Mr. Kitzel, how old were these turkeys when they were killed?
About 8 months.
Didn't even have a chance to live. I feel terrible.
You'd feel a lot worse if they were 73 cents a pound.
I suppose so. But I don't know, Mary, when I see that turkey lying there like that, I can't help but think of its mother. See how lonesome she must be.
Don't worry, that's all laying right next to him.
Oh.
Say, Jack, while you're getting the turkey, I better shop around and get some things for the stuffing.
I think I have everything at home, Mary.
What about cracker crumbs?
Plenty.
Stale bread?
2 loaves.
Oysters?
1 can.
Sage?
39.
What?
I thought you said age. Yes, we have everything.
Well, Mr. Benny, what's your pleasure if I can be so pleasant?
Well, I'd like to get a live turkey, about 25 pounds.
Live turkeys are over there, down by the end of the counter.
Oh, yes. I think I'll take that one on the right. It looks nice and plump.
Put on your glasses. That's my wife.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
I wish I could get 63 cents a pound for her.
What?
Nothing. I'm daydreaming.
Now, Mr. Kitzel, what would you suggest?
Well, if you want a nice live turkey, how's about this one over here?
Say, Jack, this one's nice and plump.
Oh, I've seen turkeys look plump, but they were all feathers. I'm going to feel this one myself. Hold still, turkey.
You and your cold hands.
Well, how much does this turkey weigh?
About 160 pounds.
I thought so. Why does this turkey weigh so much?
He's also an English horse.
Oh. Well, all right, Mr. Kitzel, we'll take this turkey. Come on, turkey. Come on, I'll take you home. Come on, Mary.
Jack, look out. The turkey's getting away.
Quick, Mary, try to grab him. He's running out in the street.
Jack, the car almost ran over the turkey and killed him.
I'm sure glad it didn't. Mel Blanc is too important to this program.
Yeah.
Come on, Mary, let's go home.
Jack will be back in just a minute.
Well, Rochester, the gang will be over this evening for Thanksgiving dinner. Is everything ready?
Yes, sir.
Then put the turkey in the oven.
But, boss.
Do as I say. Put the turkey in the oven.
But, boss.
Rochester, I'm telling you to put the turkey in the oven.
Now, wait a minute. This has gone far enough. After all, I'm a human being.
Oh, Mel, you spoiled the whole illusion. Good night, folks.
The Jack Benny program is written by Sam Perrin, Milt Josephsberg, George Balzer, John Tackerberry, Al Gordon, Al Goldman, and produced and transcribed by Hilliard Marks. Be sure to hear The American Way with Horace Height for Lucky Strike every Thursday over this same station. Consult your newspaper for the time. The Jack Benny program is brought to you by Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes. The Jack Benny program, transcribed and presented by Lucky Strike.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother. For Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, richer tasting, fine tobacco.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike.
This is Don Wilson, friends. Lucky's better taste is the big reason why so many people are switching to Lucky Strike. Sure, everybody knows that smoking enjoyment is all a matter of taste. And the fact of the matter is, Lucky's taste better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Know why? Well, LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Light, naturally mild, good-tasting tobacco. And then, Lucky's are made better to taste better. Made round and firm and fully packed to draw freely and smoke evenly. It's just as plain as day that fine tobacco in a better-made cigarette is bound to give you a better-tasting smoke. So ask for Lucky Strike the next time you buy cigarettes. That's right. Be happy and go lucky. You'll find Lucky's do taste better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Rochester, Dennis Day, Bob Crosby, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight Jack Benny does his television show with his special guests, Irene Dunn, Vincent Price, and Gregory Ratoff. But first, let's go out to Jack's house in Beverly Hills. Our little star has decided to spend a couple of weeks in Palm Springs. So just as soon as he finishes breakfast, he's going to start packing.
Ah, that was a good breakfast. How about a little more coffee, Rochester?
No, thanks, I had enough.
I meant me.
Oh!
Yes, oh.
Here you are.
On second thought, Rochester, I don't think I want any more. And anyway, it's about time we started packing.
Yes, sir.
And Rochester, not a word about our going to Palm Springs in front of Polly. You know how upset that parrot gets when she knows we're going away and not taking her with us.
Yeah.
Let's go in the other room and get started. Oh, hello, Polly.
Hello.
Well, boss, I better get out the bag and...
Bag?
Rochester.
Huh? Oh, yes. I'm going to get out the bag and put it in the vacuum cleaner and clean up your room.
Oh, yes. The bag for the vacuum cleaner.
And when the bag is full, we can start for PALMSPRINGS.
PALMSPRINGS. Vacuum cleaner.
That's right, Polly. That spells vacuum cleaner. Come on, Rochester. We better go in my room and start packing. Huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Polly, but you can't come in the room with us. All right. Don't get excited. Rochester, Polly doesn't want to be left alone. We better take her to my room, too.
But, boss, she'll see us take your suits out of the closet and your shirts out of the drawers.
She'll just think we're straightening up the room. Go ahead, bring her in.
Okay, come on, Polly.
Bring her in.
Now, Rochester, take my blue suit, my gray suit, and my tweed out of the closet. Huh?
But, boss, a tweed suit is much too heavy for PALMSPRINGS.
PALMSPRINGS. Vacuum cleaner.
Well, okay, never mind the tweed.
By the way, boss, are you going to stay at the same place you did last time?
Certainly.
Then I better keep these things together. Bathrobe, slippers, and flashlight.
Rochester, it's inside now.
Thank goodness. Once you stay at the place where we had to pack a bicycle.
Rochester, for your information, they don't have any more places like that in P-A-L-M-S-P-R-I-N-G-S.
P-A-L-M-S-P-R-I-N-G-S. Vacuum cleaner.
Well, Rochester, I guess we got everything I'll need. I'll get the phone. I'll take Polly with me. Come on, Polly. Daddy has to answer the phone. Quiet, Polly. Hello?
Hello, Jack. This is Mary.
Oh, what is it, Mary?
Jack, on your way over to pick me up, would you stop off at the store and get me a bottle of suntan oil?
What do you mean, stop off at the store? I'm bringing enough suntan oil for everybody.
I know, but you don't give green stamps.
I wasn't going to charge you for the oil. I was going to give it to you. When I bought it, the company guaranteed its quality.
I know, Jack, but after it's been in your crankcase for 10,000 miles, it loses something.
Okay, I was just trying to do you a favor. Anyway, I'll pick you up in a little while. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, boss, I've got everything ready. Shall I close it up?
No, I want to check it first, see if I didn't forget anything. Now, Polly, you can't come into my room this time. Look, Polly, if you're lonesome, Daddy will turn on the radio for you. I'll get you some music. This is good enough. You'll like this, Polly. I'll be back soon.
This musical program is brought to you by the Palm Springs Biltmore Hotel, which is situated in the heart of the desert at the foot of the San Jacinto Mountains. For further information about our rates and facilities, just drop a postcard to the Biltmore Hotel in Palm Springs. P-A-L-M-S-P-R-I-N-G-S, Palm Springs. We will now continue with more musical selection.
P-A-L-M-S-P-R-I-N-G-S. Palm Springs. Palm Springs!
Polly, what's wrong?
Palm Springs. P-A-L-M-S-P-R-I-N-G-S.
Polly, quiet! Quiet! Rochester, close the suitcase so we can get going.
Palm Springs.
Now, Polly, you can't go in that setting. Rochester, take her in the other room. Getting more human every day. Come in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Benny.
Well, Dennis, it's about time you got here. Well, Dennis, are you all set for Palm Springs?
Well, I came over to tell you I can't leave today. I have to go have a tooth pulled.
A tooth pulled? Oh, that's a shame. Does it have a cavity?
No.
Well, does it ache?
No.
Let me see. Which tooth is it?
The one on my watch chain. I got thrown out of the Elks.
Dennis, stop being silly, and I want you to leave for Palm Springs today, so go home and pack.
Okay. Oh, say, Mr. Benny, is it all right if I take my mother to Palm Springs with me?
Well...
She's already bought a French bathing suit.
Your mother? Well, that's ridiculous.
Oh, no, it isn't. This morning she tried it on, and my father said she really looked French.
Really?
Yeah. Mr. Benny, who's General de Gaulle?
Dennis, go home and pack.
Don't you want to hear my song first?
Yes. Let's hear the song.
Mi cantar se vuelve gitano cuando es para ti. Mi cantar hecho de fantasía. Mi cantar flor de melancolía que te vengo a dar. grintada en tardes de toro. Mujer que conserva el embrujo de los ojos moros, de rosas de suave fragancia que le dieran marco a la Virgen morena. Granada, tu tierra está llena de lindas mujeres de sangre y de sol.
Good, Dennis. You know, they'll love it in Palm Springs.
Thank you.
Now, Dennis, when you go there, be sure to stay on Highway 99 so you won't get lost. Is it?
Oh, I'm not driving down.
Oh. You're taking the bus?
No.
The train?
No.
Are you flying?
No.
Well, goodbye, Dennis.
Goodbye.
I guess it's better not to know how he's getting there than to ask him and spoil my whole vacation. Now, let's see.
Well, boss, I've got all the luggage in the car.
Good. Come on, let's go. Are you sure all the lights are off and the doors are locked, Rochester?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, start the car.
Okay.
Maybe we got a little water in the gasoline.
I'd tell if we had a little gasoline in the water.
Never mind. Try the motor again, will you?
Yes, sir.
The motor sounds as though it's going from bad to worse.
Sounds like it's going from here to eternity.
Rochester, don't be funny. Try it once more.
Okay.
The motor's not even catching. Maybe the battery's dead.
Can't be that, Mr. Billy. I put a new battery in yesterday.
A new battery? How much did it cost?
Nothing. I got it out of your flashlight.
Try it once more. There you are, Rochester. The motor's going. Back the car out of the garage.
Wait till that crowd gets out of the way.
All right, folks, break it up. Break it up. Beat it, beat it. Why do they always gather when we try to start the car? You can go, Rochester. They've gone now. Rochester, there's Miss Livingston's house. Put on the brake. That's good, Rochester. You stopped right in front of the house.
Yeah, and it only took us once around the block to do it.
I know. Now, keep the motor running. I'll go get Miss Livingston.
Hello, Jack. I'm all ready.
Good, Mary. I'll help you with your bag.
Thank you. Here they are.
Say, Mary, what beautiful luggage. Where'd you get it?
I bought it. Last week I got $200 on a quiz program.
No kidding. On a quiz program?
Uh-huh. I was picked out of the whole studio audience because I worked for you.
Uh-huh. You see, Mary? Doesn't hurt being on my program. What question did you have to answer for them to give you $200?
No question. They just felt sorry for me. The Heartline called with food for a month.
Oh, don't be so funny. Now, come on, Mary. Let's go.
Okay. Let me lock the door, will you?
Rochester, put Miss Livingston's bags in the car, will you?
Yes, sir. Now, let's see. Where can I put them?
Jack, you're only going to be away for 2 weeks. Why have you got all that luggage piled on top of the car?
That isn't luggage, Mary.
And what is it?
A tent. We'll have to camp twice between here and Palm Springs.
Oh, stop, Rochester. That's not why we're carrying it.
Then why are you carrying it?
The tent? Never mind. Now, Rochester, are we ready to go?
Yes, sir. I put Miss Livingston's luggage in the trunk.
Now, let's relax and have a pleasant drive.
Rochester, turn on the radio, will you please?
Yes, ma'am.
Remember, folks, there are only 14 more shopping days till Christmas. And as our holiday special, we are currently featuring a platinum necklace with a 4-carat diamond pendant for only $9,500. This can be purchased on our easy layaway plan of only $1 down and $1 a week until they lay you away. And now back to the musical portion of our program. For our next number, we will hear the Sportsman's Quartet. We were supposed to have the ink spots, but we felt sorry for the sportsmen.
Why do they feel sorry for everybody who works for me?
The next number will be E Compare.
E compare, ci posso andare, chi si suona, un friscaletto, e come si suona, un friscaletto, un friscaletto che e compare, ci posso andare, chi si suona, un saxofona, e come si suona, un saxofona, un saxofone, un friscaletto che
That's a cute song, Mary. I wonder what the words mean.
Here's the meaning, if there is any. Papa Lucky with Mr. Benny. Be happy-go-lucky, as light a lucky. A lucky strike, the smoke I like. There's ever a puff, there's ever a yellow system at the play. Our musicians are really for us. We pay them a lucky for every chorus. We know what they're saying, now as they're playing. It's lucky strike, the smoke we like. There's ever a puff, there's ever a better taste. They all agree.
Say, we're making pretty good time today.
You're right, Miss Livingston. We just passed through Pasadena.
Gosh, I wonder why the traffic is so thick.
It's people still coming home from last year's Rose Bowl game.
Last year's Rose Bowl game. Mary, stop making up such ridiculous things.
On, Wisconsin, on!
I thought you were making it up. You know, Mary, sometimes I think that...
Excuse me, Mr. Benny.
What is it, Rochester?
We're getting kind of low on gas.
We are? Well, pull in that gas station on the corner there.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Can I help you?
Yes, we'd like some gas.
Yes, sir. Would you like regular or echo?
Let me see. I wonder what would be best for this car.
Blood.
Mary, please. I'll take the regular.
Fill it up?
Well, no. Put in about 3 gallons.
For heaven's sake, Jack, why don't you fill it up?
Mary, 3 is enough.
But you'll have to stop at another gas station for more. Now, why don't you fill it up?
Well, all right. Fill it up, mister.
Oh, boy, wait till I tell the boys at the lodge about this.
Never mind, Rochester. Go ahead and fill the tank, mister.
Yes, sir.
Jack, what do you plan on doing in Palm Springs?
Well, I think I'll just rest, relax, and, 1, have a good time. I'm going to take a dip in the 2 swimming pool every morning, and then play a round of 3 golf afterwards. That way I'll get plenty of 4 sun, and in the afternoons I'll just relax, and 5, rest till dinner time. There's so many good places to 6, eat in Palm Springs, like the Dunes Dollhouse, and down the beach, 7 Comers, and lots of others. Some nights I may go on 8 and... For heaven's sake, that's enough gas! Stop already! Gee whiz.
Okay, mister, now I'll check your oil and tires.
Good.
Hey, mister, do you know you got a big hole in your right rear tire?
I know.
Well, how come it doesn't go flat?
Because the tire was filled up in Los Angeles.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
The smog is too thick to leak out.
Yeah.
Hey, mister, I can sell you a new set of tires, very reasonable.
Not right now. You see, they're making so many improvements in tires these days. I'll wait a little while longer.
Well, I got the latest thing right here, tubeless tires.
We're way ahead of that. We got tireless, too.
Never mind, Rochester. Just check the oil, mister.
Yes, sir. Well, the oil is okay, but I noticed the pulley on your generator is cracked. You better get a new one or you'll have lots of trouble.
Well, okay, put one in.
Well, I'm sorry, but we don't have any parts for this car.
Oh. Well, is there a Maxwell dealer in this town?
Yeah.
Where?
In the cemetery.
Well, it'll be all right. Now, how much do I owe? What's that?
I owe silver!
Hey, that's how Dennis is going to Palm Springs. Well, what do you know? Say, mister, how much do I owe you?
That's $2.50.
Okay, I'll...
Hey, wait a minute, mister.
Huh?
I just recognized you. Ain't you Jack Benny?
Yes, I am.
Gee, Mr. Benny, what a pleasure meeting you. How I love you in the movies.
You do?
Yeah, I think you was wonderful in To Be or Not to Be, Charlie's Aunt, George Washington Slept Here, and Quo Vadis.
Well, thank you. Now, you say the gas was $2.50?
Uh-huh. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Benny. Here comes another customer. Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Fill it up.
Well, Bob!
Why, Jack, hi. Hello, Mary. Hi, Rod.
Hello, Bob.
Hello, Mr. Crosby.
Excuse me, mister. You want regular or Ethel?
Ethel, please.
Gosh, Bob, isn't it a coincidence? We're all on our way to Palm Springs, and we needed the same gas to stay...
Jack! Stop counting. It's Bob's car.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Gee, Bob, it's a shame that you have to make the drive all alone.
I'm not alone.
Huh?
Oh, look in the back, don't you see? Remley, Kimmick, and Bagby, they're laying there.
Oh.
See, this car is that new Hudson, the kind you fall down into.
I know.
Bob, you only mentioned Remley, Kimmick, and Bagby. Isn't Sammy, the drummer, coming to Palm Springs?
Well, Sammy's coming, sure, but not until just before we do our broadcast there. See, he hates the sun.
Why?
Well, you know how bald Sammy is, and he doesn't like his scalp to get sunburned.
Well, can he wear a hat?
Oh, no, if he covered his head, he'd lose the $50 a week a distillery pays him.
A distillery pays him $50 a week not to cover his head?
Yeah. They've got Don't Be Vague, Say Haig and Haig painted up there.
Well, they couldn't have picked a better head than Sammy's. It's shaped like a pinch bottle.
Bob, this is none of my business, really, but if the boys in the band are such a bunch of hoodlums, why don't you get rid of them?
Funny, Mary, I asked Bob the same thing last week, and he told me that their private lives are their own business.
That's right, Mary, and these boys have a lot of experience.
Yeah. Bob told me that his boy spent 2 years with Wayne King.
No, Jack, not Wayne King, Waste King. They used to install them.
By the way, Bob, how come your wife isn't coming to the Springs with you?
Oh, she'll be up for the weekend, Mary. She's bringing the kids.
All 5 of them?
Yeah, all 5, and the maid and the cook, too.
But won't it be hard finding hotel reservations for that many people?
Oh, I don't have to worry about that. Jack's renting me a tent.
All right, Mary, now you know. Are you happy? Come on, Rochester, let's go.
Yes, sir.
See you in Palm Springs, Bob.
Bye, Mary.
Bye, Bob.
Rochester, make this right turn here.
What, Mr. Benny, we should go straight ahead.
Rochester's right, Jack. This isn't the way to Palm Springs.
Look, Mary, I know a shortcut. Rochester, turn here.
Yes, sir.
Jack, are you sure this shortcut takes us to Palm Springs?
Of course I'm sure.
But, Mr. Benny, we've been driving 3 hours since we left the gas station.
Yeah, and it's getting dark. We should have been in Palm Springs long ago.
Mary, I know what I'm doing. I've taken this road many times. And see, we're in the desert. See the sand?
Yeah, and I see the sign, too. Laguna Beach.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Rochester, you must have made a wrong turn. Now go back to the main highway.
Jack, look up in the air.
Where? It's only a bird.
P-A-L-M-S-P-R-I-N-G-S.
Well, what do you know? She's following us to Palm Springs. Hello, Parr. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be back in a minute to tell you about my television show, which goes on immediately after this program on the CBS network. But first, a word to cigarette smokers.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother. For Lucky's strike me. Fine tobacco, richer tasting. Fine tobacco.
Lucky's taste better.
Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Lucky strike. Lucky strike.
Friends, you know, this whole matter of smoking enjoyment can all be summed up in just one word. Taste. Yes, smoking enjoyment is all a matter of taste. And the fact of the matter is, Lucky's taste better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Now, Lucky's taste better for 2 reasons. First, LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Then, 2, Lucky's taste better because they're made better. Made round and firm and fully packed to draw freely and smoke evenly. Yes, made for 100% smoking enjoyment. And because Lucky's do taste better, they'll make wonderful Christmas gifts. As a matter of fact, right now, you'll find Lucky's all dressed up in festive Christmas cartons, specially created by the famous designer, Raymond Loewy. These colorful Lucky Strike Christmas cartons make a most welcome gift for anyone on your Christmas list. You'll find these holiday cartons of Lucky's wherever you buy cigarettes. Be sure to get enough. Make it a happy-go-lucky Christmas. Give your family and friends Christmas cartons of the cigarette that does taste better, Lucky Strike.
Be happy-go-lucky for Christmas gifts this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, in just 30 seconds, I will be doing my television show over the CBS network, and I will have as my guests Irene Dunn, Vincent Price, and Gregory Ratoff. Good night, folks. See you in 30 seconds.
The Jack Benny Show tonight was written by Milt Josephsberg, John Tackerberry, Hal Goldman, Al Gordon, and produced and transcribed by Hilliard Marks. Be sure to hear The American Way with Horace Heidt for Lucky Strike every Thursday over this same station. Consult your newspaper for the time. The Jack Benny program is brought to you by Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes.
RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, and first in television, presents the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show. For your enjoyment, here is the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliot Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Sharp in his music, and yours truly, Bill Foreman. It's only human for a man to act like a big shot before his kids, to pose as being all-wise and all-powerful. Today, Phil brags once too often and has to decide whether to be a dead hero or a live coward. But first, a word from RCA Victor. RCA Victor's 45 record players and 45 records were made for each other. They were designed together to play as a unit. And that's why RCA Victor's 45 system brings you the finest recorded music you've ever heard. So stop in tomorrow at your RCA Victor dealers and pick out a 45 instrument. You can choose any one of several, ranging all the way from the low-cost Victrola record changer attachment to a luxurious 45 AM/FM console. You'll find complete phonographs, like the Victrola 45 Personal, which has a convenient carrying handle so you can take it right along with you on trips. Or perhaps you'd prefer the compact Victrola 45 table phonograph. In any case, you'll find the 45 record changer you want to fit your budget. And whichever you choose, you'll enjoy the finest system of recorded music. Brought to you by RCA Victor, cornerstone of home entertainment for 3 generations. And now the stars of the RCA Victor program, Alice Faye and Phil Harris. Phil has a few days off this week, and he and Alice have promised the children they would take them any place they wanted to go. After much indecision, the children have chosen Palm Springs. And now, before leaving on the trip, we find the Harrises in a department store where Alice is shopping for a bathing suit for the occasion.
Phil, haven't you seen a bathing suit you like for me yet? You've had these models parading back and forth in front of you for 2 hours now.
Yeah. No, but honey, you can't rush into these things. I just want to make sure that the bathing suit is going to look good on you.
Well, Phil, watching these girls model bathing suits is becoming very tiresome to me.
I assure you it's just as annoying to me. In fact, my eyes are beginning to hurt.
They're just tired from bulging.
Alice, please, I'm trying to help you out. All right, miss, you can flush out another covey of them models. Run them on through here, honey.
Oh, Phil, we don't have to see any more. Miss, I know what I want. I like the one with the green bodice and the short skirt. Which one do you like?
The long-legged one with the red hair. The tall one there with the...
I'm not talking about the models. I'm talking... Oh, never mind. I'll buy what I want. Miss, I'll take this 2-piece bikini.
Yes, that's... What? You're thinking of buying that outrageously skimpy little thing?
Well, what's wrong with it?
It's disgraceful. And I will not allow the woman that I love to parade her charms in that Satan sunsuit.
Phil, you liked it on the model.
Well, that's different.
Well, why is it different?
Well, she's young.
What?
I mean, she's slim.
What?
I mean, her hips is not as... No, that ain't going to get it. Honey, I just won't allow you to wear one of those scanty things.
Oh, but Phil...
Never mind. Now, I'll pick out the bathing suit for you. Miss, Yes, honey, right over here. Will you show us something in a nice, wifely bathing suit?
What kind of a suit is that?
Like my mother used to wear. Miss, bring us a black bathing suit with long sleeves, pantaloons, black cotton stockings, and high lace bathing shoes. You look very chic in this, my dear.
Yes. Yes, I'll be the rage of the Keystone Cops. Chester Conklin and Fatty Arbuckle will just love me in this.
There she goes, reliving her early days in pictures.
Now, Phil, I'm not going to be seen in that kind of a suit.
You'll either wear that suit or nothing. No! No!
Miss, I'll take the bikini.
All right, if that's what you want, but I'm telling you something. You're going to be...
We've just been over to the sporting goods counter, and we changed our minds about going to Palm Springs for our vacation.
Well, that's okay. Then we'll go to another desert resort, kids. I don't care where we go as long as I can sit out and bask in that sun. Oh, man, I love that heat. Where do you kids want to go?
To the high Sierras for the snow.
No!
Yes, you'll love it up there, Daddy. They say there's 20 feet of snow. And it's 10 below zero, and everything is frozen over.
Alice, get them two little walruses out of here. I ain't going up to no snow country.
Oh, please, Phil. I'd rather go to Palm Springs, too, but this is the children's vacation, and we promised them we'd go wherever they want.
Alice, I can't stand the snow. And besides, there's nothing to do up in the high Sierras.
Oh, there's lots to do up there, Daddy. You can go tobogganing and ice skating and skiing.
Oh, there's a nice assortment of bone-breaking activities.
Wouldn't you like to go skiing, Daddy?
Are you kidding? I'm 100 years old. You ain't going to get me on none of them warp bed slats. Alice, I'd like to oblige the kids and make them happy, but I ain't going to no snow country. We can't go.
But why not?
Because Frankie won't like it up there.
Who invited Frankie?
I did. I figured it's a vacation, and you and I might want to go out at night, and Frankie, well, he could be our babysitter.
What are you, soft in the head or something? I'm not going to let Frankie sit with our babies.
Why not? He ain't going to eat them.
How do you know?
That's a chance we'll have to take. There's a calculated risk in everything you do. Honey, Frankie can't stand the cold on account of his condition.
What condition?
Every time he gets near ice, his blood turns to bourbon.
Phil, I'm not going to worry about Frankie. If he wants to come with us, he's going to the snow country.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, hello, Frankie.
Hi, Rem.
Hey, Curly, I can't wait to get started on our vacation.
Oh, look, Rem.
I can just see myself lying around in the sun with nothing on but sunglasses and a pair of trunks.
Francis,
I'm going to lie on my back with the sun heating my broad chest.
And the snow freezing your little
Phil.
shoulder.
What snow? There ain't no snow in Palm Springs.
We changed our minds, Uncle Frankie. We're going to the high Sierras.
What's the matter with you anti-Remley? I can't go to the snow country. I bought all my equipment for the desert.
What equipment?
Water gourds, a piss helmet, and an Arab.
What's the Arab for?
To drive the camel I bought.
Where did you buy a camel?
On a used camel lot. I got it from the raucous Riff.
Frankie.
It's a beautiful Sahara 6 with a hydromatic hump. They're wonderful. You sit out in the open air. You ought to get one, Curly.
Well, no. If I drive around town in a convertible camel, everybody will say I've gone Hollywood.
Hey, look, Alice, do we have to go to the snow country?
Yes, we do. And let's go home and start packing. Well, you boys will have a lot of fun up there. We'll make snowmen, we'll build forts and have snow fights, and at night we'll sit around the fire and toast marshmallows and sing.
Curly, how'd you happen to meet this brownie?
She came to my door one day selling Girl Scout cookies. didn't happen to have any loose change, so I married her. The cookies were lousy, but she was cute, and I figured maybe...
All right.
Alice, you don't have to go to the mountains to sing. Now, if you want to sing, you can do it here.
Well, thanks, dear. Sweet of you to ask me. Now, Clancy was a peaceful man, if you know what I mean. The cops picked up the pieces after Clancy left the scene. He never looked for trouble, that's a fact you can assume. But nevertheless, when trouble would press, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, the Clancy! Oh, the Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom, 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 boom. Now, O'Leary was a fighting man, and they all knew he was tough. He strutted round the neighborhood, a-shooting off his guff. He picked a fight with Clancy, then and there he sealed his doom. Before you could shout, O'Leary, look out! Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, the Clancy! Oh, the Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom, 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 boom. Now Mulrooney walked into the bar, and he ordered up a round.
Draw one.
He left his drink to telephone, and Clancy drank his own.
That he did.
Mulrooney said, who drunk me drink? I'll lay him in his tomb.
Why not?
Before you could pass the top of your hat, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, the Clancy! Oh, the Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom, 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 boom. Now the neighbors all turned out for Kate O'Grady's wedding night.
That's right.
MacDougal said, let's have some fun. I think I'll start a fight.
I'll join you.
He wrecked the hall that kissed the bride and pulverized the groom.
What a man.
Then quick as a week before you could drink, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, the Clancy! Oh, the Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom, 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 boom. Clancy lowered the boom. The back of the head. The back of the head. Oh, terrible, terrible.
Gee, Mommy, I can't wait to get up in the snow. When are we going to leave?
The first thing in the morning. Now I want you girls to go upstairs and lay out all your heavy clothes.
All right. Daddy, I'll bet you're anxious to get up in the mountains.
Oh, I'm just a bundle of impatience.
Well, I know when we get there, you'll go up to the top of the high ski jump, take off, sail through the air, and go all the way down to the bottom of the valley. Won't you, Daddy?
What daddy you talking to?
Daddy, you're not afraid to go on the ski jump, are you?
Who, me afraid? Ski jump, daddy? You? Me? Ski jumping?
Wait him out, kids. He's got to come up with an answer sooner or later.
Well, are you afraid?
Well,
You once told us that when you were in Europe, you won the Olympic skiing title.
The what kind of title?
The Olympic skiing title.
Oh, I did? I know you're too young to have your teeth fixed. You're having trouble with them now. Ooh. And I told you that I won the title, huh? Oh, I must have been in great shape when I laid that one on him, I guess.
If you won a skiing title, you must be anxious to go skiing and show us how to do it.
Well, yeah, I would, but... Well, you see, Phyllis, when I won the title, it was on Swiss snow.
Now, what difference does that make?
A lot you know about snow. Them Swiss, they really know how to make snow. They put holes in it to make it soft.
That's one thing they never learned to make in this country. Good snow. Us skiers have to have that imported stuff or it ain't worth our while.
Well, Daddy, tell us the truth. Do you and Uncle Frankie know how to ski?
Do we know how to ski? Did you hear that, Reverend?
Yeah. Silly child.
Yeah.
Do we know how to ski?
Yeah, that's the one with no teeth, isn't it? How can they ask such a stupid question? Do we know how to ski?
How long can we keep stalling them, Curly?
They'll take a nap in an hour. Keep it up just so they get sleepy. So we know how to ski.
Oh, pipe down. You don't know how to ski, so why don't you admit it?
Now, wait a minute. I do, too, know how to ski. I'm an expert.
In that case, when we get up there, you can teach us how.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Now, you kids run along and do what your mother told you.
Okay, Daddy. Come on, Phyllis. We're going to have a wonderful time.
Oh, Phil. Phil, why did you tell the girls you can ski? You've never been on a pair of skis.
I know it, honey, and gee whiz, I can't let my kids down. If they think I can ski, well, I'll ski. After all, what's there to it?
Oh, there's a lot to it. You have to know how to make the different turns and twists. For example, do you know how to slalom?
Alice, please, not in front of Frankie. There are some things that are sacred.
Phil, slalom is a form of skiing.
Oh, that's... Well, I'm positively one of the best slalomanists. Baby Alice takes her good teeth after me. Look, if the kids want me to show them how to ski, I'll show them. There's nothing to it.
Phil, I don't think you should... Come in. You might get hurt.
Hello, Mrs. Harris. Remember me? I'm Mrs. Stewart, your next-door neighbor. I'm sorry to drop in unexpectedly like this.
Well,
Don't apologize. We all look messy in the morning. Then that's to be expected when you have a lot of housework to do. You certainly have a big house here. My, it's untidy. Do you have any help?
Well, we have.
I know your husband's too cheap to hire them. I don't know how you stand it, especially with 2 children to take care of. Children are such a responsibility. One has to be after them all the time. You can't leave them alone for a minute, I always say.
That rain washed down some funny things.
Didn't seem to rust her mainspring.
No,
Mrs. Stewart, you'll have to excuse us. We're busy packing. You see, we're going on a trip.
A trip? Oh, you lucky people, you. I just love trips. Where are you going?
Well, we thought we'd go
At this time of the year? Don't be silly. I know wonderful places.
No, look, thanks very much, lady, but don't bother because we've already decided we're going skiing.
At your age? You're a foolhardy old coon, aren't you? Then don't get me wrong. It's a wonderful sport. My first husband went skiing for the first time when he was your age. He did it very well. He took off on the top of the ski jump and he soared so gracefully through the air and he landed way down on the bottom.
He did?
Yes, he broke every bone in his body.
Well, did he recover all right?
I wouldn't know. Last time I saw him, he was lying there in a little heap. So you're going skiing, Miss Harris?
Yes, I am. And don't worry, nothing's going to happen to me.
Why should you be the exception? Oh, you know, I just love to have the stretcher concession at those ski places. They're carrying them down all the time.
Carrying them down?
Yes, but don't let that worry you. If you want to go skiing, go ahead. After all, we have to take a certain amount of chances because, as I always say, life is a gamble.
Well, I'm willing to gamble.
Good. I'll give you 8 to 5 if you don't come back alive. You can pay me out of the insurance money, Mrs. Harris. Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye.
Shall I wax your skis now, Curly?
Alice, is it as dangerous as she says it is?
Well, people have been known to break bones.
Oh, I got plenty of bones.
Oh, don't worry, Phil. You'll be all right. I'm going upstairs and help the children pack. You'd better come up and get your things ready, too.
Yeah, honey, we'll be up later. Oh, Remley, the kids insist that I go skiing. Remley.
I ain't going to lend you no bones.
I don't need Just tell me, how am I going to get out of this?
Don't ask me. They're your bloodthirsty kids, not mine.
Well, I don't want my kids to think that I'm a coward, so I got to think of an excuse not to go.
What are you worried about? What can happen to you?
What can happen? Why, I'm liable to fracture my conducting finger. Or worse yet, sprain my hair curling hand.
Oh, Curly. Why are you always looking at the dark side of things?
Because this is serious, Remley. Why, I'm even liable to break my neck and not be able to sing again.
You see, there's a bright side to everything.
Oh, now you've hurt my feelings. Oh, have no reason.
Curly, I'm sorry. No, don't cry.
Oh, gee whiz,
you know I love your voice.
No,
and to prove it, I want you to sing your new RCA Victor record for me right now. You're sweet. Things I do to comfort this big slob.
Mama's on the warpath. Mama's fighting mad. Mama's boiling, yes, Mama's on the warpath. For Papa got in bad. He's in bad, very bad, awful bad. Mama's on the warpath. Papa's leaving town, 'cause he's learned that when Mama's on the warpath, it just ain't safe to be around. Get away, get away. So if he runs away, he may live to fight another day. Before she throws him out, you can hear poor Papa yell and shout, take to the hills whenever Mama's on that warpath. Papa's laying low, 'cause he knows that when Mama's on the warpath, poor Papa better blow, brother blow, better blow, brother blow. Mama's on the warpath, and Mama wears the pants. 'Cause in our house when Mama's on the warpath, poor Papa ain't got a chance, not a chance, not a prayer he's kaput. Mama's on the warpath. Papa's in a jam, and he knows that if Mama's on the warpath, he'd better take it on the lamb, better scram on the lamb. Poor Papa's got a hunch, Mama's saving up her Sunday punch. She likes him black and blue, so there's only one thing Pop can do. Take to the hills whenever Mama's on the warpath. Give her lots of room, 'cause as Pop says when Mama's on the warpath, she's really riding on a broom, boom, boom, boom. She's a witch on a broom. Poor Papa's got a hunch, Mama's saving up her Sunday punch. She likes him black and blue, so there's only one thing Pop can do. Take to the hills whenever Mama's on the warpath. Give her lots of room, 'cause as Pop says when Mama's on the warpath, she's really riding on a broom.
And stay out.
Hey, Curly, while you've been singing, I thought of a way for you to get out of skiing. If something were to happen to you, you couldn't go.
Hey, that's a good idea. I'll pretend
You
that
can't pretend. It's got to be the real thing, and I figured it out for you. Just sit down on this ice pack.
Okay. Hey, gee, this is a wonderful way for me to get a... Hey, wait a minute. Look, I may be a little dense today, but how is sitting on an ice pack going to get me out of skiing?
You don't grasp things very fast, do you?
Not too, no.
Curly, don't you see? If you caught a bad cold, Alice and the kids wouldn't expect you to go to the snow country.
Now I see. Sure. I'll just sit up. Hold it another minute, please.
What?
Don't you think a head cold would be better?
Sitting on ice sends a chill through your body and you'll catch a cold before you know it. Just sit down, huh?
Okay, I'll do anything to get out of this trip. There. I'm sitting on it. Ooh. How long do you think it's going to be before this thing gets me?
You'll be sneezing in no time.
Anybody home? I'm putting the groceries.
Yeah, Julie. Just put them groceries down.
Okay. Mr. Harris, what's that you're sitting on?
An ice pack?
Oh, brother, your hangover has no sense of direction at all.
I ain't got no hangover.
This may sound like a stupid question, but why are you sitting on an ice pack?
Because I don't want to go skiing.
I see. What do I mean, I see? Don't make no sense.
Very simple. Mr. Harris's children wanted to go skiing, and he's trying to catch a cold so he won't have to go.
Why don't
don't you want to go, Mr. Harris?
Because it's dangerous. I could get killed.
So?
So I don't want to get killed.
You got a point. I don't agree with you, but you got a point. There's a good possibility that you will get killed. But on the other hand, you got a slim chance of coming back alive.
A slim chance?
Curly, don't let him upset you. Listen, Julius, you know he's got more than a slim chance. Now reassure him.
All right. Mr. Harris, you got a fat chance of coming back alive.
Look, I got news for you, kid. I'm coming back alive because I ain't going. The only thing I'm worried about is getting out of this without losing face with my kids. I don't want my kids to think I'm afraid because I'm not.
I know you're not, Curly, and I know a way you can convince your kids you're not afraid.
How?
When they come in, keep facing them. Don't turn around.
How will that help?
That way they won't be able to see the chartreuse streak running down your back. Just keep facing them at all times.
That ain't gonna do it.
Why not?
That'll only call their attention to his yellow belly.
All right, kid, get on out of here. Get lost, will you? Beat it. Hey, Remley.
What?
Ooh. This ice pack is starting to work. I'm getting chilly all over, and
You're sneezing good, Curly.
Yeah.
Hey, it'll help it along if I put some ice on your chest.
Yeah. Ooh. Hey, Remley, get a pail of cubes for my feet, too.
They're just doing this to confuse my little brain.
Will you ignore him, Frankie, and go get me some ice? Yeah. Hurry up.
How you feel, Curly? Good and sick, huh, pal?
Yeah, Remley. My doze is good and dopped up now, boy. You think I've had a nub?
No, you're not even blue yet. You just sit there and I'll pack some more ice around.
Hurry up.
How is he, Doctor?
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Harris. He should be out of the oxygen tent in about 3 weeks.
I can't imagine how he could be so sick all of a sudden.
Well, probably because he was run down. He doesn't get any exercise. I advise that as soon as he gets well enough, you take him away where he can get some vigorous outdoor exercise.
Well, what would you suggest?
Take him to the High Sierras for some skiing.
Alice and Phil will be back in just a moment. But first, I would like you to listen to a portion of a wonderful new RCA Victor record.
I love to hear a band that's playing a doodle-de-doo, a doodle-and-two, the noodle-and rag.
Oh, the noodle-and rag.
I love to keep...
It's a change of pace for Perry Como. And Noodle and Rag, his new RCA Victor recording, is catching on like wildfire from coast to coast. Unlike Perry Como's usual ballad style, Noodle and Rag has a lively tune, lots of bounce, and it proves a point that there's no more versatile performer in the business than RCA Victor's own Perry Como. The tune on the flip side is another hit, too, called Play Me a Hurtin' Tune. Supported by the Fontaine sisters, Perry Como's rendition of this clever number is sure to skyrocket to the top. So get 2 hit songs on one record, sung by Perry Como and recorded by RCA Victor.
Folks, this is Phil again. My own Jackson Benny, will visit Dennis Day on Dennis's television show on NBC TV this Friday for RCA Victor. Watch for it. They're going to have a beautiful time. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Remember, whether you're buying a television set, a radio, a Victrola phonograph, or records, put your faith in the cornerstone of American home entertainment for 3 generations. RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in television.
Next, Theater Guild on the Air stars Edna Best on NBC.
The Jack Parr Program, presented by Lucky Strike.
American.
Fine tobacco is what counts in the cigarette. And
LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, year after year.
LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
American.
From Hollywood, Lucky Strike presents the Jack Parr Program with Trudy Irwin, Jerry Fielding in the orchestra, yours truly, High Averback, and starring America's new young humorist, Jack Parr, with a special guest tonight, Jack Benny.
Thank you very much. This is Jack Parr. Hello, and a special note to the F.E. Boone Fan Club in Lexington, Kentucky. Don't be impatient. F.E. will be back in 11 minutes. Well, Hollywood is all excited because Margaret Truman is giving a concert here next week. They say her father taught her to sing the scale like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, vito. Another interesting item from Hollywood this week is that a famous actress is going to remarry her first husband. It must be his turn again. Another actor got confused this week, and he proposed to his own wife. This confused her so much that she accepted him. Now they have to get a divorce so they can go through with it.
Jack, aren't you going to say anything about Great Britain placing a 75% tax on American films?
Yes, I've been worrying about that. So I've invited to the studio today a typical British moviegoer who's in this country on a special mission. He's been brought here to breathe on C. Aubrey Smith's monocle. His is the only breath containing Windex. Good evening, sir. Your name?
J. Arthur Faversham III. My father, you see, was J. Arthur Faversham II.
Mm-hmm. Who, may I ask, was J. Arthur Faversham I?
My mother. She passed away several months ago. It was the Prime Minister's fault.
The Prime Minister's fault?
Yes, you see, he was addressing the Empire on the wireless, and when he concluded, he said, "Chin up, everybody." That was fatal to Mother.
But why?
She was under the sink at the time.
I'm terribly sorry.
No matter. The drain is open again.
I do admire the way you British carry on. Tell me, will you miss American pictures?
Well, I don't care much for your pictures, but dash it all, I hope you continue to send that Lend-Lease popcorn.
If things are so difficult over there in England, why don't you all move to California?
Egad, we have the very same idea. In fact, before I left home, the Prime Minister was putting a giant propeller on one end of England. We're pulling up anchor.
But what if you can't squeeze the island through the Panama Canal?
Heavens to Devonshire, we'll force it through.
In that case, there will always be a long, thin England. In the absence of Lily Pons and Andre Castellanos' orchestra, who are not here much anyway, we turn to our young musical stars, Trudy Irwin and Jerry Fielding. Jerry's the one with the long hair. Trudy is the girl that she has to be a girl because, you see, all her clothes are made that way. And now a hush comes over the audience. The spotlight falls on Trudy Irwin. She gets up, brushes herself off, and sings Just One of Those Things.
It was just one of those things, just one of those crazy flings, one of those bells that now and then ring, just one of those things. It was just one of those nights, just one of those fabulous flights, a trip to the moon on gossamer wings, just one of those things. If we'd thought a bit of the end of it when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Here's hoping we'll meet now and then. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things. Of the end of it when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Here's hoping we'll meet once again. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things.
Little-known people who mean absolutely nothing.
Friends, the world is full of little-known people. Perhaps you haven't given it much thought. Do you realize how little-known some people are? For instance, there's the man who reads the gas meters of the man who reads the gas meters. Another little-known is George, the third Smith brother, who was later cut off without a drop. Another anonymous little man is Rudolph R. Rudolph, who hopped around the world in 734 days. No plane, he just hopped. Tonight we have with us someone of this type, a girl, or I should say a lady tree surgeon, Mrs. John W. Grommel. It is Mrs. Grommel, isn't it?
Yes, but I just got a divorce.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't...
My husband tried to get something on me. He hired a private eye.
Well, I think we...
I shot it out.
That's all very interesting, Mrs. Grommel, but we'd like to hear about your career as a tree surgeon. How did you happen to take up that work?
Well, I kind of inherited it. My first husband was a tree surgeon. He got killed by a falling patient.
That was unfortunate, wasn't it?
Well, that's nothing. My second husband was killed by a falling tree. My third husband was killed by a falling tree, and so was my fourth husband. But my fifth husband died natural. He died in bed.
He did?
Yes, a tree fell on him.
A bad case of lumber in his slumber, huh? Tell me, Mrs. Grommel, I suppose being a tree surgeon requires a large amount of education.
Oh, yes. After leaving grammar school.
Go on.
That's all. Of course, we have 2 weeks of pre-med, then 1 week of med. Oh, I'll never forget the day I graduated a full-fledged tree surgeon. My, I was proud when the dean handed me my diploma and a pair of bloomers.
Did your training as a tree surgeon end then?
Oh, no, I interned at Berry Wood. You know, No, but I sometimes wonder if it's worth it. I'm just worn out today. I was up all night delivering an avocado.
Oh, boy or girl?
Did you ever see an avocado?
Mrs. Grummel, you've done wonderful things with trees. I understand you were the first one to put bath mats under weeping willows.
Well, thank you. But the case that I'm most famous for in my own little-known way is the case that I like to call the case of the giant redwood.
Up in Sequoia National Forest, huh?
Yes. You've seen the enormous tree with the highway running right through the middle of the tree?
Yes, I think we all have. Did you perform an operation on that tree?
Yes, a very delicate operation. I had to use 14 pounds of Jergens lotion. It was a removal operation.
You used 14 pounds of Jergens lotion?
Yes, I had to soften up 2 Buicks.
This has certainly been an interesting discussion, Mrs. Grommel. You must come back next summer. Is there some place we can contact you?
Oh, yes, I'm doing a local job now, a plastic surgery over in Griffith Park.
Plastic surgery on a tree?
Oh, yes, on lots of trees. I'm removing the penknife marks. Almost every tree in Griffith Park has a heart with an arrow through it, and Joe loves Mabel, or Joe loves Gertrude, or Joe loves Imogene, or Joe loves Mary, Joe loves Ruthie, Joe loves Toots, Joe... Anyway, I expect to be in Griffith Park for a long time, for months and months.
You mean the work will take that long?
No, I just met Joe.
Thank you, and good night.
Lucky Strike presents The Man Who Knows, the independent tobacco expert who knows from his own experience at the auctions what kind of tobacco is bought by the makers of Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike presents The Man Who Knows, the tobacco buyer.
Mr. Fred Evans of Danville, Virginia, has bought tobacco leaf at more than 3,000 different tobacco auctions. Recently, he stated,
Year after year, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine quality leaf. That fine, ripe, mellow tobacco you can't beat for top smoking quality. Smoked Lucky's myself for 19 years.
Yes, the man who knows. Experts like Mr. Evans can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select and buy that fine, that light, that naturally mild tobacco. Remember,
LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, and fine tobacco means real, deep-down smoking enjoyment for you.
So smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Friends, as you know, I am a summer replacement. A summer replacement is a fellow who broadcasts during the hot weather to give the other actors time to count the money they've made all winter. Frankly, I'm a little worried because my brief summer career is coming to an end. Radio's getting ready for the winter again. Edgar Bergen is repainting Charlie McCarthy. Fibber McGee is waxing Harlow Wilcox. And Phil Harris has switched to antifreeze with an olive.
Well, look, I'm not trying to worry you, Jack, but let's consider who's going to replace us. We've done good shows. We're not failures. How can you be a failure? You're only 29.
Hi, we won't be failures for another 10 years yet. But that's radio. The summer's running out and our leaves are getting brown. Take how I feel. I thought I was a success. I have everything a young man wants. Fame, fortune, suede shoes.
But, Jack...
Let it go. Be optimistic, you know.
Jack, who's going to replace us? Lum and Abner have had their chance.
It's cruel, Hi, I know, but there's one good sign. Amateur hours are coming back. Fresh new talent will arise. Tonight we're going to give 3 young hopefuls a chance. The winner will be our winter replacement. Who knows? We may discover a new Phil Baker.
Oh, that's just grand. Well, Jack, here's our first discovery. Step this way, miss.
Good evening, miss. Your name is Griselda Furpo. Are you here to audition for our winter replacement?
Would I be here if this was Inner Sanctum?
Well, come to think of it, that veil does look a little like a cobweb. I presume you've had some experience in show business.
Certainly. I was with a USO troupe in Japan.
Japan? How long were you there?
Until the Americans arrive. It so happens I'm a singing midget.
Aren't you a little tall for a midget?
I'm standing on my sister.
Well, if you don't mind, you're not very attractive.
I don't mind. My sister's on top this week.
Well, what are you going to do for us tonight?
Well, if my sister Tangerine will jump down and go to the piano, I'll sing. Hey, Tangerine, jump already. Arpeggio, please. Heartache, heartache. My love and you meant only heartache. Your kiss was such a sacred thing to me. I can't believe it's just a burning memory. Heartache, heartache. What does it matter how my heart breaks? I should be happy with someone new. But my heart aches for you, a Ricky Ticky. My heart aches for you.
Thank you, Furpo sisters. Stand by until the end of the program when the audience applause will decide the winner. Our second contestant in our talent search is a man here wearing the long black coat with a bird cage in his hand. Good evening, sir. What is your name?
Bonsoir, mon ami. My name is Monsieur Roudet Lapé, the magician.
You're French, aren't you?
L'enfant de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. English translation, oui.
Well, we're glad to have you here in America. Incidentally, is it true what they say about those French bathing suits? I mean, what are they like?
Oh, they are very simple. You just take 2 handkerchiefs and throw one away.
I see, but you said you were a magician.
Oh, but I do card tricks with mice.
Maybe I was listening wrong. Did you say you do card tricks with mice?
Yes. Here, pick him out.
Pick a mouse. No, Rude. You can't do that on the radio. Look, don't you do any of the conventional magician's tricks, like maybe sawing a woman in half?
Oh, but, monsieur, I shall never saw a woman in half again. I was never so humiliated. I was on the stage of the Orpheum Theater, you see.
You mean something went wrong with the trick?
Oh, yes. I don't know how it happened, but I was sawing this woman in half when all of a sudden I heard bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep.
Poor Simone.
But I have a trick for which I'm famous. Look, I take $50 from your nose. See?
Gee, I wish I'd known that this morning. I needed some change. Now, what else do you do?
Surprising as it may seem, I'm also a great hypnotist.
That's fine for the radio. Hypnotism.
Oh, yes. Look, I do it to you. Abba-dabba, sleep. Abba-dabba, sleep. Abba-dabba, sleep.
See, it really works.
It does?
Yeah, my abba-dabba's asleep. Thank you, monsieur. Please stand by for the decision of the audience. Now, here's our last contestant in our talent hunt for a winter replacement. Your name, sir?
Benny, Jack Benny.
No favoritism, please. Now, Mr. Benny, have you ever had any experience on the radio before?
Why, yes. In fact, I worked up on the radio up until 12 weeks ago.
Oh, and what have you been doing for the past 12 weeks?
Collecting unemployment insurance.
Tell me, Mr. Benny, these days of inflated prices, they worry me. Isn't it rather difficult to live on $20?
Yes, it's become almost impossible for me to save more than $12 a week. I had to close up the left wing of our house. Unfortunately, Mary's mother was in it at the time.
Mr. Benny, what can you do?
Well, here's my business card.
Do you mind if I unfold it?
Please do.
All right. Jack Benny, comedian and violin virtuoso. Violin selections provided for private parties and weddings, formerly with Phil Spitali. Mr. Benny, were you really with Phil Spitali?
Yes, until my voice changed. That was about 6 years ago. I finally left the orchestra with spite work or something. That Evelyn and her magic violin. You know, she just held hers. I had to play mine. Well, Mr. Parr, you haven't finished reading my card yet.
Oh, yes. Can provide violin music for junior proms, birthday parties, taffy pulls, banquets, and anniversaries.
Oh, turn it over. There's more on the other side.
Oh, yes. Also, I'm being considered to accompany Margaret Truman at the Hollywood Bowl.
It's a cinch, you know, if she sings Love and Bloom.
Now, Mr. Benny, you said you were on the radio. Were you a contestant?
No, I was an entertainer. You see, many years ago, I started my career as a comedian in vaudeville. I knew I was a comedian because all my clothes were made that way.
And from vaudeville, you went into radio.
Yes, and I'll never forget those early days of broadcasting. Mr. Parr, maybe you heard one of my first shows.
I probably did. Which one were you, Mert or Marge?
No, Mr. Parr. He's ad living. I was the original Jack Armstrong, the all-American boy.
When you were a boy, we didn't have all of America.
Wait till you hear my next line. We did too.
Mr. Benny, you mentioned a few minutes ago that up until the last 12 weeks you were working on the radio. What type of show did you do?
Well, if you've ever heard me on the air, you'd realize I'm one of the funniest men in radio. And to prove it, I brought over a script of one of my shows. I was just great.
All right, Mr. Benny, you read your part, and I'll read the other roles.
Oh, there are no other roles to this. I just typed up the part I did on the show. Now, listen. Thank you, Don. Well, hello, Mary. Phil, you've got to do something about that band. Sing, Dennis. Rochester, answer the door. Yikes! Well, what do you know? It's Ronnie and Benita. But we're a little late, so good night, folks.
And, Mr. Benny, that is the mirth-quaking humor you did on the radio.
Yes, sir.
Well, maybe you'd better play the violin for us.
Just a second till I get it. 1 second. All right, let's go.
Mr. Benny, that's quite an expensive-looking violin you have there, huh?
It is, but I'm even prouder of the bow. You see, most bows are made of horsehair. This one comes from Lassie.
I thought it was an awfully short bow. Now, suppose you start.
Oh, just a minute. I want to rosin my bow here.
Oh, by all means do. Why the half shape?
Ready. Now, I brought my own. I try to talk in so you wouldn't get such a big laugh. I brought my own piano accompanist, Jose. Give me A, will you? That's close enough. Intermezzo. You know, if you don't do that fast, you're dead, you know. Dwight Fatali let me go and kept Evelyn. I'll never know. And now for a faster number.
That's enough, Mr. Benny. Mr. Benny, you can stop now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute!
Something wrong?
Yes, Mr. Benny, I don't feel you're quite ready yet.
But, Mr. Parr, you haven't given me a fair chance.
I'm sorry, Mr. Benny, but you're wasting my time.
Look, kid, your time is my time.
Mr. Benny, stand by for the decision of the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard our three contestants. Now, as I put my hand over each contestant's head, the studio audience will applaud, indicating their favorites. First, I have my hand over the Furpo system. Now I have my hand over Rudy LaPay, the magician.
Abba-dabba, abba-dabba, abba-dabba.
And finally, we have the violinist, Jack Benny.
Are you sure your hand is over my head?
Yes.
You're positive your hand is over my head?
Certainly, I have it right over your...
Uh-oh. What's the matter?
It's under your toupee.
Well, what do you know?
Jack Parr will be back in just a moment. But first, Lucky Strike presents The Man Who Knows.
American.
The Man Who Knows, the tobacco auctioneer.
Mr. James Monroe Ball, East Tobacco Auctioneer of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, said not long ago,
Season after season, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine mellow leaf, tobacco that makes a swell smoke.
The Man Who Knows, the tobacco buyer.
Mr. Carl Hartfield, well-known tobacco buyer from Greensburg, Kentucky, recently said,
At auction after auction, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine tobacco, ripe, prime leaf. I've smoked Lucky's for over 28 years.
And so it goes with the Man Who Knows, the tobacco expert. Remember, fine tobacco is what counts in a cigarette. And LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So for your own real deep-down smoking enjoyment, smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the air.
Tune in next week to the Jack Parr Show with Trudy Irwin, the outstanding Paige Cavanaugh Trio, Jerry Fielding in the orchestra, yours truly, High Haverback, and Jack Parr.
Oh, Mr. Benny. Yes? We just took a secret ballot, and you've been elected to be our winter replacement.
Well, I knew it all along.
But, Jack, I'm a little worried. You're not going to play your violin or tell jokes, are you?
Oh, no, I've got something brand new up my sleeve. It's never been done before.
What is it?
Here, pick a mouse.
Good night, everybody.
Don't forget, friends, for the props and radio entertainment, set your dial to NBC Wednesday night for that thrilling newspaper drama, The Big Story. And on Saturday night, don't miss Your Hit Parade with Martha Tilton, the Pied Pipers, and starring Andy Wilson. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Tonight marks a very special occasion in my career as a newspaper woman. Although I've known our guest of this evening many, many years, this is the first time I've had the pleasure of interviewing him on my program. He is a star of stage, screen, and radio, and a well-known comedian.
A very well-known comedian.
A very well-known comedian. He's been in radio since 1932 and was born in Waukegan, Illinois, 55 years ago.
39 years ago.
39 years ago. He's not only a comedian and a very fine actor, but he is an accomplished
violinist.
In appearance, I would say that he is about 5 feet 10, weighs 160 pounds, has square shoulders, is slightly gray, and has blue eyes.
Robin egg blue.
Robin egg blue. As a matter of fact, this gentleman is so well known that he doesn't need an introduction. So here he is.
Now, wait a minute, Louelle. Don't you think you should have mentioned my name? There may be a few people who are still in doubt.
I don't think so. I said you were slightly gray, weighed 160 pounds, and had blue eyes. That describes you, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I went fishing last week and caught a tuna that answered the same description. Thank you, Louella. We have no audience. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jack Benny. Louella, I appreciate this opportunity of appearing on your program, and as a special treat, I brought along my violin.
Well, Jack, you can play later. Right now, I have a few questions that I'm sure our radio audience would like you to answer.
Oh, but you will let me play the violin.
Yes, in a few minutes.
Oh.
Now, Jack, you've been sort of a pioneer in radio and very successful. So it will be very interesting to know what you think about television.
Well, Louella, there's no question in my mind that television will be the most important medium of entertainment in the history of show business. And it is just a matter of time when there will be a television set in almost every home in the country.
I'm sure you're right, Jack. But what are your plans? Do you intend to take an active part in this new medium?
Yes, in a modest way. Right now, I have a small store on Temple Street, and as the television sets continue to sell, I will branch out and try to get a franchise a little further uptown. Can I play my violin now?
Wait a minute, Jack.
Oh.
Do you mean to say you're going to sell television sets instead of continuing your career as an entertainer?
Well, I might do both. That is, if I can find someone I can trust to mind the store. You see, Louella, television is an entirely new technique, and it calls for perfection, not only in voice, but also in appearance.
You mean that when a face travels through a cable, it may not look so good when it comes out?
Yes, that's it exactly. I don't mean that I'm not handsome enough or that I'm not photogenic.
The word is telegenic.
Oh. Then why didn't we change it this morning? We went over it 3 times. Can I play my violin now?
Later, Jack.
Oh. But I want to play Schubert's Unfinished Symphony, and I'm afraid if I don't start now, I won't have time to finish it. It's such a long piece.
Don't worry, Jack. You'll have time.
I hope so. I bought a new string just for this program, and I'm anxious to hear how it sounds. I've been playing on 3 strings for so long. What else would you like to know about me, Louella?
Well, Jack, there's been a lot of publicity about your career in radio and pictures, but very little about your early years. How did you happen to leave Waukegan?
Waukegan? Well, I decided it wasn't big enough for me. You see, there were 3 or 4 other violinists in town, and there just weren't enough backyards to go around. It was too difficult making a living.
I imagine you'd find it just as difficult today if you relied on your violin.
Oh, I don't know. Take Yasha Heifetz, Yehudi Menuhin, and Isaac Stern. They all get by. Of course, I don't claim to be as good as Heifetz, but I've had offers. You know, I could have gone with Spike Jones.
As a violin soloist?
No, washboard. I auditioned. By the time I got finished, I did his whole week's laundry. For free yet. Can I play now, Louella?
Just a few more questions, Jack. When did you decide to devote yourself to comedy rather than music?
When I had to pawn my violin, it was awkward trying to play without an instrument. Embarrassing, too, you know.
Oh, then you had a job. Where were you playing?
Well, you know those summer cruises from New York to Bermuda and the West Indies?
Why, yes. In fact, I made that trip myself. What ship were you on, Jack?
The Oscar W. Crumholz. It was the flagship of the Staten Island Ferry. We had a fine group of musicians, you know.
How many in the band?
Well, we had a 4-piece combination, violin, guitar, accordion, and monkey. But we didn't make any money, and the band finally broke up.
What happened to the other fellas?
Well, Sven and Otto sort of disappeared, but the monkey is doing very well. I hear from him all the time. He has his own radio show now. Calls himself Fred Allen.
Oh, Jack, you must be kidding.
No,
I know Fred Allen. He doesn't look anything like a monkey.
Oh, not now, but in those days he did. He was much better looking then. Now can I play my violin?
Oh, I'm afraid our time's about up.
But, Louelle, you said I could. Now, you promised.
I know, but don't worry, Jack. You can play your violin. Just outside the studio, there's a little room.
Uh-huh.
Go in and lock the door, and you can play your heart's content. No one will bother you.
But then no one will hear me.
We thought of that, too.
Oh, well. So long, Louelle.
So long, Jack Benny, and thanks for coming over. Tonight marks a very special occasion in my career as a newspaper woman. Although I've known our guest of this evening many, many years, this is the first time I've had the pleasure of interviewing him on my program. He is a star of stage, screen, and radio, and a well-known comedian.
A very well-known comedian.
A very well-known comedian. He's been in radio since 1932 and was born in Waukegan, Illinois, 55 years ago.
39 years ago.
39 years ago. He's not only a comedian and a very fine actor, but he is an accomplished
violinist.
In appearance, I would say that he is about 5 feet 10, weighs 160 pounds, has square shoulders, is slightly gray, and has blue eyes.
Robin egg blue.
Robin egg blue. As a matter of fact, this gentleman is so well known that he doesn't need an introduction. So here he is.
Now, wait a minute, Louelle. Don't you think you should have mentioned my name? There may be a few people who are still in doubt.
I don't think so. I said you were slightly gray, weighed 160 pounds, and had blue eyes. That describes you, doesn't it?
No, I don't know. I went fishing last week and caught a tuna that answered the same description. Thank you, Louelle. We have no audience. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jack Benny. Louelle, I appreciate this opportunity of appearing on your program, and as a special treat, I brought along my violin.
Well, Jack, you can play later. Right now, I have a few questions that I'm sure our radio audience would like you to answer.
No, but you will let me play the violin.
Yes, in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Now, Jack, you've been sort of a pioneer in radio and very successful. So it will be very interesting to know what you think about television.
Well, Louelle, there's no question in my mind that television will be the most important medium of entertainment in the history of show business. And it is just a matter of time when there will be a television set in almost every home in the country.
I'm sure you're right, Jack. But what are your plans? Do you intend to take an active part in this new medium?
Yes, in a modest way. Right now I have a small store on Temple Street, and as the television sets continue to sell, I will branch out and try to get a franchise a little further uptown. Can I play my violin now?
Wait a minute, Jack.
Oh.
Do you mean to say you're going to sell television sets instead of continuing your career as an entertainer?
Well, I might do both. That is, if I can find someone I can trust to mind the store. You see, Louelle, television is an entirely new technique, and it calls for perfection, not only in voice, but also in appearance.
You mean that when a face travels through a cable, it may not look so good when it comes out?
Yes, that's it exactly. I don't mean that I'm not handsome enough or that I'm not photogenic.
The word is telegenic.
Oh. Then why didn't we change it this morning? We went over it 3 times. Can I play my violin now?
Later, Jack.
Oh. But I want to play Schubert's Unfinished Symphony, and I'm afraid if I don't start now, I won't have time to finish it. It's such a long piece.
Don't worry, Jack. You'll have time.
I hope so. I bought a new string just for this program, and I'm anxious to hear how it sounds. I've been playing on 3 strings for so long. Well, what else would you like to know about me, Louelle?
Just a few more questions, Jack. When did you decide to devote yourself to comedy rather than music?
When I had to pawn my violin, and it was awkward trying to play without an instrument. Embarrassing, too, you know.
Oh, then you had a job. Where were you playing?
Well, you know those summer cruises from New York to Bermuda and the West Indies?
Why, yes. In fact, I made that trip myself. What ship were you on, Jack?
The Oscar W. Crumholz. It was the flagship of the Staten Island Ferry. We had a fine group of musicians, you know.
How many in the band?
Well, we had a 4-piece combination: violin, guitar, accordion, and monkey.
But we didn't make any money, and the band finally broke up.
What happened to the other fellas?
Well, Sven and Otto sort of disappeared, but the monkey is doing very well. I hear from him all the time. He has his own radio show now. Calls himself Fred Allen.
Oh, Jack, you must be kidding. I know Fred Allen. He doesn't look anything like a monkey.
Oh, not now, but in those days he did. He was much better looking then. Now can I play my violin?
Oh, I'm afraid our time's about up.
But, Louelle, you said I could. Now, you promised.
I know, but don't worry, Jack. You can play your violin. Just outside the studio, there's a little room. Go in and lock the door, and you can play your heart's content. No one will bother you.
But then no one will hear me.
We thought of that, too.
Oh, well. So long, Louella.
So long, Jack Benny, and thanks for coming over.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Day.
Wells in your eyes, and the spell of your smile.
Dennis Day is brought to you by Palmolive Soap and Colgate Dental Cream. Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth. The Dennis Day Show with Barbara Eiler, B. Benaderet, Dink Trout, George Dooning in the orchestra, and yours truly, Vern Smith, is written by Frank Galen and stars our popular young singer in A Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Here's Dennis to sing It's a Most Unusual Day.
It's a most unusual day. Feel like throwing my worries away. As an old native-born Californian would say, it's a most unusual day. There's a most unusual sky, not a sign of a cloud passing by. And if I want to sing, throw my heart in the ring. It's a most unusual day. There are people meeting people. There is sunshine everywhere. There are people greeting people, and a feeling of spring in the air. It's a most unusual time. I keep feeling my temperature climb. If my heart won't behave in the usual way, well, there's only one thing to say. It's a most unusual day.
And now, here is a very important announcement. Palmolive Soap is giving away prizes worth $67,000, a grand prize of $25,000 in one lump sum, or $100 a month for life.
And that's not all. There are over 2,000 prizes in Palmolive's big treasure chest contest.
Ford sedans,
Westinghouse laundromats,
From Silver Fox scarves,
Toastmaster toasters.
And it's easy to enter. Complete the last line of this jingle.
A fresher, brighter-looking skin is something I would like to win. I'll get Palmolive Soap today. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Write your last line on a plain sheet of paper or use an official entry blank giving complete rules obtainable at your dealers. Include your own and dealer's name and address and mail with the big word Palmolive from the front of the wrapper of one regular and one bath-size cake of Palmolive Soap to Box 92, New York 8, New York.
Now, here's the jingle once more.
A fresher, brighter-looking skin is something I would like to win. I'll get Palmolive Soap today. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Mail your entry to Palmolive, Box 92, New York 8, New York. Get Palmolive soap for a lovelier complexion. Remember, doctors prove Palmolive's beauty results. Well, we've seldom seen a more glorious fall morning than this one in the little town of Weaverville. Brilliant sunshine turns each autumn leaf to gold, and there's a tang in the air like wine. No wonder there's a sparkle in every eye, a carefree smile on every face. No wonder pure joy of living... Oh, well, wait a minute. What's this? Why, there's our young hero, Dennis Day, walking into the Anderson house with the most woe-begone expression we've ever seen. My goodness, he hasn't looked like this since the junior G-men discharged him for being over age. I wonder what's happened.
Why, Dennis, it's only 10 o'clock. What are you doing home from the shoe store?
I've got a good notion not to go back to that shoe store ever, Mildred. The boss and I had words this morning.
Words? What do you mean, words?
I said good morning, and he said you're fired.
Dennis, no. Well, what on earth did you do?
Oh, I guess it was that order I bought from a salesman without consulting the boss. Gosh, I still think 300 pairs of ladies' mules with fur on them at 50 cents a pair is a good buy.
Oh, gee, it seems so to me, too.
Sure. How did I know they were all size 13 and a half?
Dear, isn't it just awful the bad... Oh, hi, Daddy.
Good morning, children. Something wrong, Mildred? You look a little upset.
Oh, Dennis is out of work again, Daddy.
Yeah, it's getting pretty darn discouraging going from one job to another, Mr. Anderson.
Oh, now, all you need is a little responsibility, my boy. Until a young man gets married, he's like a deflated balloon, incapable of rising. Someday you'll find your gas bag just as I have.
Daddy's right, Dennis. I've heard him say many times that he was incomplete until he met Mother.
Sure. She was what finished me off, all right.
Oh, Daddy.
Oh, well, just a little belly laugh to cheer up Dennis. Now, why not drop in at that employment agency downtown, my boy? I'm sure they'll locate something for you.
Gee, do you really think so?
Why, of course. And then when you're finished, drop over at the hotel. I'll be down there on business today, and we can have lunch together.
Okay, I'll see you around noon.
But try not to be too disappointed if the employment agency doesn't find something for you immediately, won't you, Dennis?
Sure, I will.
Remember, you can always collect your unemployment insurance. After all, $20 a week isn't to be sneezed at.
No, especially when it's $3 more than I've been making. So I thought if you could find me something steady,
Why, of course, young man. We'll do our very best for you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Just sit right down on that couch while I read off a list of occupations, and when you hear one that appeals to you, let me know. Ready? Accountant, actuary, architect.
Ooh.
Architect?
No, loose spring.
Yes, it does do that once in a while.
I think it's only a flesh wound.
Good. Perhaps we'd better get your vital statistics for our records before we go any further. Now, your name again?
Dennis Day.
Oh, yes. Your age and weight, please.
22 and 159. The larger number is my weight.
Yes, I had a hunch it might be. As far as school is concerned, how far did you go, Mr. Day?
3 blocks.
Mr. Day, I'm beginning to adore you.
Really?
Yes. And now this next question usually gets a plain, dull yes or no for an answer. But somehow I'm counting on you heavily. Tell me, are you a white-collar worker?
Well, usually, but of course you know how the laundries are these days.
I knew you wouldn't let me down. And now then, what was your last job?
Oh, I sold shoes.
What kind?
Right ones and left ones.
Interesting. People with 3 feet were just out of luck, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Shall we continue? This is fun. Are you by any chance adept with your hands, Mr. Day?
Well, I can put them in front of a light and make a rabbit shadow on the wall.
Well, bully for you. But what I meant was, are you skilled at any manual labor?
Gee, no, I'm afraid not.
Then we have to rely on your mental attributes in placing you, huh?
Yes, sir.
We're in trouble, Mr. Day.
Gosh, really?
Really. However, suppose you leave your number, and if something turns up, I'll give you a call.
Oh, swell. I'll be at the Weaverville Hotel for the next hour. After that, call 227.
Fine. If a man answers, I won't hang up. By some wild stretch of the imagination, it might be you.
Sam, I'm telling you, this hotel lobby is giving me the willies. What's the matter with people in these tank towns? Ain't they buying phony oil properties anymore?
Duke, it ain't like the old days. The oil racket's been done to death. Nowadays, you need a real standout dope.
Yeah, but you'd think a town this size would have at least one prime... Hey, Sam.
Huh?
You see the kid over there waiting for someone? The one with them big, innocent, brown eyes?
You mean the guy over there twiddling his thumbs?
Yeah. See how hard he has to concentrate to keep him from colliding?
Uh-huh. Hey, look. That beautiful brunette with the wire-haired terrier's walking right in front of him. Oh, brother, has she got gorgeous legs, huh? Look at the kid's head time.
Yeah, but he's looking at the wire-haired terrier.
Oh, that's our man. Go to work.
Pardon me, young man, but I just don't seem able to place your face.
Oh, really? It's just where everybody else's is.
No. What?
I'm afraid I've got some bad news, J.B.
Yeah?
Oil has just been discovered on our land in Texas.
Oh, no! Oh, unless we can unload that land somehow, we'll be stuck with another $1 million.
This is stuck?
Look, young man, you don't understand. This puts us in a higher income tax bracket.
Sure, and right now we owe the government so much money that they don't know whether to throw us into jail or recognize us as a foreign power.
Oh, if we could only find someone to take this land off our hands, say, for a measly $2 an acre.
Well, if you're really in trouble, fellas, I'd...
A good boy. Now, how much land do you want?
Well, wait till I figure out how much cash I can lay my hands on. Let's see now. Could I get much oil out of about 2.5 yards?
We should have known, Sam.
Yeah, come on, Duke. Forget it, kid. We're looking for a big...
Hey, wait a minute. Gosh, this would be a wonderful thing for Mrs. Anderson. She might buy the whole 100 acres.
Mrs. Anderson?
Yeah, I'm going to marry her daughter. And if I let her in on this, she'll have something to thank me for.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do, my boy. We'll give you this deed to the property, and if this Mrs. Anderson buys it, just turn the $200 over to us, and we'll pay you a 10% commission. $10.
Oh, boy. Thanks, gentlemen. Gosh, Mrs. Anderson always wondered whether I had any brains or not. Well, I'll stop that in a hurry.
We'll continue our day in the life of Dennis Day in just a moment. Meanwhile, here's Dennis to sing With a Twist of the Wrist.
With a twist of the wrist, with your lips that insist, with that come-hither look in your eye. Just when I think we're through, you do magic and make me love you. At the drop of a hat, it's as easy as that, with the merest attempt at a sigh. When I'm sure you're untrue, you do magic and make me love you. Yes, I'm just, after all, at your beck, at your call. Seems 'twill never be for you and me all over. With a twist of the wrist, I'd be back on your list. Doesn't matter how hard I may try. How can I get away from your very persuasive allure? When with a twist of the wrist, I'm yours.
Well, Dennis has been promised a commission if he can sell Mrs. Anderson 100 acres of Texas oil land at $2 an acre, not knowing, of course, that he's been taken in by 2 phony confidence men. And because the sale is so important to him, he's been remembering the main points of the salesmanship course he took in high school. Never force the issue. Wait until the thing you're selling comes up naturally and normally in the conversation. Let's watch him put this technique into operation.
Nice day, isn't it, Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
A little warm for October.
Maybe.
Think prices will continue rising?
If they do, taxes better start coming down.
Mrs. Anderson, I'm glad you brought that up.
Brought what up?
Taxes, greatest state in the Union.
What?
Boy, what oil lands. Why, if you could buy just one little bit of property...
Oh, keep quiet.
Too abrupt, huh? Okay, let's try it again. Nice day, isn't it?
Dennis, I'm warning you. I'm in a black mood. I have a cold.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Brought what up?
Black gold.
What are you talking about?
Well, Mrs. Anderson, I know where you can buy some Texas oil property for only $2 an acre.
Oil property? Dennis Day, do you take me for an idiot?
What's that got to do with it?
Do you really think I'm dumb enough to fall for a thing like oil property?
But this will make you a millionaire, Mrs. Anderson. For an investment of only $2 an acre, you
can... Stop. I wouldn't touch a thing like that with a 10-foot pole. It's the most ridiculous thing that...
Oh, I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Day. This is Mr. Nelson at the Employment Agency.
Who is it, Dennis?
Oh, it's for me, Mrs. Anderson.
I never thought I'd be saying this to you, Mr. Day, but I have a job for you.
Oh, gosh, that's wonderful.
What's wonderful?
Oh, it's just business, Mr. Anderson. Go ahead, Mr. Nelson.
Well, have you ever heard of C.J. Farrington?
C.J. Farrington?
Why, that's the richest man.
Property out in the hills, and he wants someone to clear it off for him.
Uh-huh.
Chop down trees and cut away the brush. He'll pay $10 for every acre that's cleared.
$10 an acre?
Good heavens, it's up $8 an acre already.
You know how to handle that type of work, don't you, Mr. Day?
Oh, sure. I can clean up all right.
Oh, Clara Anderson, you fool.
Tell him I'll be there first thing in the morning, Mr. Nelson.
Maybe it's not too late.
And thanks. Thanks very much. Goodbye.
Dennis.
Yes, ma'am?
I've said some rather peculiar things to you every now and then, haven't I, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
But you've always known that way down deep inside me I adore you. Haven't you?
No, ma'am.
I do, Dennis. You're the sweetest boy I've ever met.
Mrs. Anderson, are you asking me to become the father of the girl I love?
Of course not, dear boy. I just want a teensy-weensy favor. This C.J. Farrington is a very wealthy man, isn't he?
Farrington? Oh, yeah, he's loaded.
Of course he is. He has all the money he needs. I don't see why he should have any more, do you?
I'd rather not answer that. I might get investigated.
No, you don't understand, Dennis. You see, I want you to sell me that oil property at the original cost of $2 an acre.
You do? Well, gosh. Okay, sure.
Oh, you darling. I'll write you out a check for $200 immediately.
But I don't understand, Mrs. Anderson. A minute ago you said you wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, well. You know that girls are always permitted to change their minds, don't you?
Sure, but what's that got to do? Ooh, I nearly said. $10, Mildred. Look, I gave your mother's check to those men, and they gave me 10 whole dollars. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to become a real estate operator. I've always wanted yachts, servants, Cadillacs, and a bow tie that lights up.
But what I don't understand is why Mother bought oil land. It isn't like her. Did Mr. Farrington really offer $10 an acre for it?
Huh? Gosh, no. He just offered me $10 an acre to clean off some... Oh, but she'll thank me when she becomes a millionaire.
You mean if she becomes a millionaire? What did those 2 men look like, Dennis?
Oh, just average-looking fellows. One was wearing a black and white checkered suit and had shifty eyes, and the other one was short, and the hair on his forehead came down to about... I could be in trouble, huh?
I hope not, Dennis. We better see where the property's located. That's why I got out this map of Texas.
Yeah, let's see what the deed says now. 20 miles due south of Galveston, Texas, and 75 miles west of Freeport. That would put it right about Here on the map.
There?
Yeah, Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, Dennis.
Boy.
Oh, we better call the police.
We can't. I sold the land to your mother and they'd arrest me. No, I'll go confess to your mother and then she'll just... Yeah, let's call the police.
No, you were right. We can't. Oh, if there were only some way to get Mother's money back. To make those men think the oil property's really valuable.
Yeah, sure, but what are we going to...
Wait! Dennis, I think I've got it. Get your hat, quick.
Why, yes, miss. Who for you?
Oh, Mr. Brown, you've got to help us. I'm private secretary to a very prominent newscaster. Our plane was forced down en route to New York, and he simply must be on the air immediately.
Oh, I see. Which newscaster is it? Raymond Grand Swing, Elmer Davis, Gabriel Hito, Lowell Thomas, Fulton Lewis Jr.? I know them all personally.
Did you mention H.B. Kaltenborn?
No, I don't believe I ever met him.
You can come in now, Mr. Kaltenborn.
Good evening, everybody.
Well, good evening, Mr. Kaltenborn. This is a great honor, believe me.
Thank you. You're the manager of this radio station?
Yes, sir. My entire staff is at your disposal, sir.
Splendid. Your efforts will be appreciated, I'm sure.
Fine. Now, is there anything I can get for you?
Yes, this chair is a trifle hard. I'd like a nice soft cushion.
Yes, sir. I'll be right back with it.
Good work, Dennis. I'll run over to the hotel and make sure the radio in the lobby's real loud so those crooks will be sure to hear you. And when you get through, call Mother and tell her what's happened and what to expect.
Okay, and if it doesn't work, you call the undertaker and tell him who to expect. And so, the situation in Russia is grave indeed.
Do they have to play that radio so loud?
Relax, Duke.
And now we leave the foreign news of Russia and Prussia and turn to the domestic scene concerning a Texas oil gas yard. Tremendous oil strike was made late this afternoon on the floor of the Gulf of Mexico.
Sam, did you hear that?
Yeah, shut up a
The
minute.
locality of the strike is believed to be 20 miles south of Galveston and 75 miles west of Freeport.
Holy smoke, our tidelands property.
It is interesting to note how the discovery came up. Each factory was squeezing a walleye pipe, expecting to extract cod liver oil. Imagine his surprise when out squirted pure 100% Pennsylvania.
Duke, come on. Come on. We got to get hold of that Mrs. Anderson.
We got to get that property back.
In my life, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm a pretty smart guy at times.
You certainly are.
We could only figure out why the times are so far apart.
Well, this time you were glorious. Oh, if you could only have seen those crooks' faces when I had my check back and told them how we tricked them with that fake broadcast.
Gee, I'll bet it was wonderful.
It was priceless.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Anderson.
Say, did you hear H.B. Calton?
Did we? Oh!
I'll say we did.
I found the hotel who owned that oil property. And guess what?
What?
But they couldn't have heard the broadcast because they sold me the entire property for $10 an acre.
Oh, no.
No.
Next plane, I'm going down to inspect the property.
Dennis Day, you started this.
Wait a minute. Mr. Anderson, I'll get my bathing suit and go with you.
Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. No other toothpaste does a better job of cleaning teeth than Colgate Dental Cream. For Colgate Dental Cream has a safe polishing agent that cleans your teeth both gently and thoroughly, brings out their natural sparkle and beauty. You can actually see and feel the difference. And scientific tests prove that Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. Yes, actual scientific tests prove conclusively that in 7 out of 10 cases,
Colgate instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth.
Colgate Dental Cream is famous for its wonderful wake-up flavor, too. Nationwide tests of leading toothpastes prove that Colgate's is preferred for flavor over every other brand tested. Yes, preferred over every other brand tested.
And no wonder. For Colgate Dental Cream is the result of constant effort to produce the finest toothpaste in the world today. For cleaning teeth, for flavor, for sweetening breath.
So see if you don't agree with the millions who have made Colgate Dental Cream America's Colgate Dental Cream. Give your teeth early enjoy.
And always use Colgate Dental Cream after you eat and before every date to clean your breath while you clean your teeth. In answer to so many requests, here's Dennis with George Dooning and the orchestra to sing Because.
Because you come to me and hold my hand and lift mine eyes above. A wide world of hope and joy I see. Because you come to me. Because you speak to me, I find the roses waking round my feet, and I am led through tears and joy to thee. Because you speak to me. Because God made thee mine, I'll cherish thee. Through light and darkness, through all time to be, and pray His love may make our love divine. Because God made thee mine. Through light and darkness, through all time to be, and pray His love may make our love divine. Because God made thee mine.
Night, everybody.
Next week, tune in to another Dennis Day Show brought to you by Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth.
For soft, gleaming, glamorous hair, try Luster Cream Shampoo. Not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty new cream shampoo. In tubes or jars, whichever you prefer. Be a lovely Luster Cream girl.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl, you owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
Listen again next week to Colgate's Hour of Fun, Judy Canova, followed by Dennis Day. And for another great comedy program, hear Blondie next Wednesday evening over your favorite NBC station. Vern Smith speaking. Good night.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Colman.
Good evening, this is Ronald Colman.
And Benita Coleman.
Inviting you to join us again on the campus of Ivy College. And now, the Halls of Ivy.
That surround us here today, and we will not forget all we before away.
Welcome again to Ivy College, that is, in the town of Ivy, USA. Dr. William Todd Hunter Hall, president of Ivy, starts this week on his vacation, accompanied, need we say, by his charming wife, Victoria. And here in his administration building office, metaphorically putting up the shutters, cutting off the utilities, and stopping the milk delivery for the summer, we find Dr. Hall and his secretary, the indispensable Miss Goodson.
Well, let's finish up, Miss Goodson, before we have another influx of bon voyage visitors and footloose professors. Now, is there anything else? Before I shoulder my knapsack and wander off through bog and fen?
There are 2 letters to sign, Dr. Hall.
Only 2? That's splendid. For me to get through the college year as a 2-letter man is quite an achievement. Which 2 are they?
One of them is a personal note to Mr. Wolfe of Business Administration, who left us to go with an advertising agency in New York.
And at 3 times the salary we could give him, I'm happy to say. With his energy and personality, he'll make a fine... what is the term?
Huckster.
Oh, yes. Probably from the Middle English word huckle, meaning haunch. Because destiny seems to have shaped his ends for an executive chair. And the other letter?
To Professor Alvin Weingand of the English Department, congratulating him on his new publication called What's a Good Word?
Ah, yes, a real contribution to the living language. Professor Weingand advocates a positive approach to popular usage.
My mother always took a negative approach. She used to tell me always to remember that the only word which occurs naturally in the English alphabet is N-O. No.
I salute Mother Goodson. All right, now I'll sign the letters. Where is my fountain pen?
It's being repaired, sir, at that little side street shop in Ivy.
Oh.
You always say that while the proprietor may be slow, you rather like his nibs.
One priceless witticism for a $1 repair job. It takes 3 weeks. Now, let me see. The Wolf letter. There we are. And the Weingand letter. That's that. And now what, Miss Goodson?
That's all, sir. You're through. I'll take care of anything else that needs doing. Your traveler's checks, road maps, and motor club material are in this envelope. I hope you and Mrs. Hall have a lovely summer, sir.
Thank you. And in this envelope, you will find a small contribution toward your summer, Miss Goodson.
Thank you, sir.
And I thank whatever powers may be who watch over college presidents for sending me such a flawless secretary. And now, will you call Mrs. Hall and tell her I'm on my way?
She knows, sir. I called her while you were talking to Professor Heaslip. I said you'd be home in 45 minutes. You have a full 12 minutes to make it. Oh, you're home.
Uh-huh.
I hope you folded your overalls neatly and left your lunch bucket in the locker and punched the time clock right in the nose.
Yes, I even had Miss Goodson disconnect the electric clock in my office, thus saving the college at least 11 cents in electricity over the summer.
This is an idea from far left field,
but a stop clock somehow reminds me of Mr. Wellman.
It does? Why?
Because even a stop clock is right twice a day in spite of itself. Well, the observation isn't original with me, of course, but... speaking of time, aren't you home rather earlier than you'd hoped?
Yes, and we'd have finished much sooner, except for several professors who dropped in to wish a happy summer.
Oh, when Miss Goodson called, she said you were deep in conversation with Professor Heaslip.
Deep is the proper term. 40 fathoms at least. Heaslip, as you know, fancies himself a Shakespearean scholar. And I suspect dreams of himself playing Hamlet in doublet and tights.
Professor Heaslip in tights is not a dream, Toddy. It's a nightmare.
Yes, and it's regrettable that with a voice like Sir Henry Irving, he should have a figure like Sidney Greenstreet.
Well, I'd have said Lou Costello, but between Greenstreet and Costello, you can split the difference. And also the tights.
But Heaslip has a new parlor game. Designed, I think, for literary show-offs and intellectual snobs. I did quite well at it.
Well, go ahead, snob darling, and show off for me. What's the game?
Well, I don't know that it has a name as yet, but it might be called Here's Your Hat and Quote. Or block that reference. The idea is that your opponent indicates a nearby object or suggests a brief situation, and you must counter immediately with a Shakespearean quotation, giving the source.
Oh, you mean if you say Heaslip, I snap right back with, they have been at a great feast of languages and stolen the scraps. Love, labor, lost, Act 4.
That's it exactly. And very good, Vicky, if I may say so.
Well, thank you. I'm all tuckered out now.
I must confess, I was quite carried away with the game.
I'd like to hear you two play it sometime. Maybe I could enjoy seeing Professor Heaslip carried away. Give me some more samples.
Well, I pointed to that plaster bust of myself that one of our art students made a few years ago, and Heaslip promptly said, "Why should a man whose blood is warm within sit like his grandsire cut in alabaster?" Merchant of Venice, Act 1.
Not bad. Then what did he give you?
Well, he indicated a small puddle where the water cooler had leaked. So I said, "Great floods have flown from simple sources." All's well that ends well.
That's brilliant, darling. I'll bet you can beat Heaslip hands down at his own game.
Well, my final triumph was a bit fraudulent, I'm afraid. As he was leaving, he said, "Man bites dog." And I said, the biter bit, 'tis only just, it is a bitter bite. Coriolanus, Act 3.
Well, it's marvelous. Coriolanus? I don't remember that line.
No, dear. I invented it for my own nefarious purposes. Heaslip didn't challenge it. He was obviously afraid it would expose his own ignorance. But enough about that, my sweet. How have you occupied yourself today?
Oh, packing, repacking, calling up about the lights and the gas and the water, cleaning out the refrigerator, and fighting bees.
Bees in the refrigerator? Well, I must say you're a thrifty little helpmeet, raising your own honey. Don't your bees get a trifle lethargic at freezing temperatures?
They weren't my bees.
Oh, borrowed bees. Well, it's a novel touch of neighborliness. I say, William, will you run next door to the Quincanons and borrow a cup of bees?
No, William, the bees weren't in the refrigerator.
Oh.
They were swarming in that big old oak tree out in front, and a lot of them got into the house.
And how did the beautiful and ingenious Mrs. Hall cope with the matter?
Oh, the clever Mrs. Hall's first thought was to run screaming out of the back door. The second thought, the fly swatter. Third and best thought, our natural history department. And they sent a man over who lured them away with the queen bee.
Girl crazy, And after coming in the house and seeing you, Vicky, I can't blame them.
Oh, thank you. And I don't remember that Shakespeare said anything apropos of that situation.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes. Midsummer Night's Dream. Lord, what bees these mortals fool. Of course, you see that there's a slight transposition necessary to understand.
But yeah, you explain it to me sometime. You know.
Excuse me, darling. Dr. Hall speaking. Hello, Professor Warren. Well, thank you, Joe. Well, I was a little hurt. A parade of professors through my office this afternoon, and no Joe Warren. But what are your plans, Professor? You are, and you got your license this afternoon. Good for you. Well, thank you for calling, and we'll see you next fall. Bye, Joe.
Professor Warren, you got a license? What, not marriage?
No, dear, fishing. Oh, he says he's going up into some remote part of Canada for the summer. I wonder why...
What's the matter, darling?
Now, it's just occurred to me that... Oh, well, they're probably busy packing, too. Although it does seem that one or two of them might have... but maybe they tried and I was too involved with Heaslip. Still...
William, what on earth are you trying to say? Who might have tried to do what?
Well, Vicky, do you realize that not a single student has called on me or telephoned to say goodbye or good luck?
Oh, Toddy, I don't really think that means anything.
Did any of them call here while I was gone?
No, but...
Well, that's even stranger. They consider you practically one of them. I, being the president, might be considered too aloof to be the object of such intimacies, although I have tried to maintain a really now, don't you think it odd?
Well, yes. Oh, but darling, maybe they don't realize we're leaving today.
Oh, Vicky, I mentioned it in chapel yesterday morning.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. My goodness, they all love you and you know it. Come on now. Now, what did the other William have to say about that?
What, about falsely assuming a personal popularity? Well, now, let me see. Yes, there's the speech in Measure for Measure. But man, proud man, dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant of what he's most assured. His glassy essence, like an angry ape, plays such fantastic tricks before high heaven as make the angels weep.
The Voice of America is bringing you this presentation of The Halls of Ivy, starring Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Colman.
As we return to the halls of Ivy, we find Dr. Hall just coming back from loading the last suitcase, tennis rackets, sunglasses, camp stove, and reading material into the car.
I think that does it, Vicky. And from the looks of the back seat, the rear deck, and the glove compartment, we are thoroughly equipped for a 3-year safari through darkest Wyoming. Are you ready to leave?
Yeah, I think so. Let me check my list again. Then, let's see. 64, 69, 66. Item 67.
67? What, may I ask, is the total number of your memoranda?
Well, in round numbers, 88. Those are about the roundest numbers I could think of, so I think like that. But item 67 says, don't forget BB. What do you suppose I meant by that?
BB? Couldn't mean just BBs because I'm not taking my air rifle. A bundle of blankets? Box of biscuits? The bread and butter? Stop me if I'm getting warm. Barrel of bicarbonate? Plates of barracuda? Bank book?
Yeah, that's it, thank you.
Well, why do we need that? Considering that I've drawn practically all our available funds in the form of traveler's checks, the bank book would merely be an unhappy reminder of better days.
Yeah, not the bank book, Toddy. Your bird book.
Oh.
Remember last time we took a long trip and you'd see a purple-billed swamp goonie or something, and you looked into mad trying to identify it?
Yes, and thank you for remembering. Where is the book?
Oh, it's in the car. I loaded it first thing so I wouldn't forget.
My darling, I don't know what I should do without you, and I hope I never find out. Well, is your list all checked off?
Yes, I think that's everything. Now, if you'll wait while I put on my face...
Wait. Did I share the telephone?
No, but if it had rung, you would have, because you're practically sitting on it.
Thought I felt it ring.
You're not so worried about not hearing from the students.
Well, no, not worrying exactly, but I do think it's strange that none of them called.
Well, there's probably some very simple explanation, but we're both such complicated characters we can't think of it.
Well, last year, for instance, we were besieged by youngsters and their friendly farewells.
William.
I can't think what I may have done or not done. I've chided them now and then, yes, but I've also consulted them,
William,
helped them,
Geordie,
advised them,
darling,
and to leave for the summer without a... yes, Vicky?
Look, I won't consider spending the summer with a college president who's brooding about not being played off the campus with a string quartet.
Oh, my love, it's not that.
And I don't want to have you running out of gasoline because you forgot to fill the tank because you were wondering why the senior class didn't line up on the front porch to kiss us goodbye.
All right, and if you're referring to the time we, or I rather, ran out of gasoline in our little rented English car in Devon. Was it Devon?
Oh, yes. What a lovely day it was to run out of petrol. But then you always thought of the nicest things to do.
I still remember the red sandstone cliffs and the surf and the seagulls scolding us for the intrusion. Miss Cromwell.
Yes, Mr. Hall?
I am an American. My entire family were pioneer Americans. Mayflower, the revolution, if you'll pardon the reference. I am proud of my American heritage, but I regret to inform you that being unused to English automobiles with a smaller fuel capacity, we are out of gasoline.
Oh, well, I don't think Parliament will call a special meeting about it. Besides, when you think that part of the Spanish Armada was wrecked near here after storms and scurvy and hunger, why, running out of petrol seems a little trivial, doesn't it?
Yes, particularly as we passed a village not 2 miles back. Or is it kilometers? Or shillings?
Oh, well. Let's just call it a brisk walk. May I come with you?
May you? Oh, but I warn you, with you the walk will not be brisk. I shall prolong the journey to the point of dawdling.
Well, you've known me so briefly that you probably don't realize that I'm a girl guide.
You are?
With 3 merit badges for dawdling, sauntering, and meandering.
And I am an Eagle Scout who has just laid an egg as a motorist. Miss Crumble, will you do me the honor of accompanying me to yon hamlet, whatever it might be called?
Oh, I'd love to, Mr. Hall. And the name of the village is Appledore.
Thank you, girl guide. You know, I still feel slightly apprehensive about leaving a car parked on what is to me the wrong side of the road. Do Americans ever get accustomed to using the left side of the street?
Well, I think they rather enjoy it. Why, I've always heard that the American attitude toward oncoming traffic was, let's face it. Well, look, suppose we take a shortcut across this nice fat meadow.
All right. Ah, what lovely country this is. Every part of your England seems to have its own particular brand of beauty.
I imagine America does, too. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder, they say. Why are you staring at me?
Oh, I guess I'm just a beholder with beauty in my eye. You are beautiful, you know. I never realized how rosy your cheeks were.
Well, you're looking at me through the rose-colored glasses of Devon. Why, everything around here is rosy. The cliffs, the apples, the deer, and even the sheep have a reddish tinge.
Yes, and look at the fuchsias outside that cottage.
Yes.
I don't know how science accounts for this rosy aspect, but I have a theory which explains it to my satisfaction.
Well, science is always so impersonal. I think I'm going to like your theory better. What is it?
Well, my theory, to account for the local pinkness, is that your presence raises the blood pressure of the countryside to such an extent that the result is a breathtaking blush. Did you say the name of that village is Applecheek?
No. It's Appledore. And I must warn you, this part of the coast is to be taken very seriously. They say from Padstow Point to Lundy Light is a watery grave by day or night.
Yes, as witness the Spanish Armada.
Yes.
Miss Cromwell, Victoria.
Yes, William?
Do you think you would like America?
Why? But what an odd question. I'm sure I would, but why do you...
Oh, just keep it in mind and think it over. I may have another question. A more or less related question to ask you on the...
Telephone, darling.
No, not on the telephone. Darling? Did you call me darling? Miss Cromwell, are you...
William, honey, it's the telephone. Answer the phone.
The telephone ring way out here. The telephone. telephone.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm
yes.
sorry to bring you back from wherever you were, darling. You had such a blissful expression on your face.
Well, I was in Devon with you. And a happier combination never existed, at least until you married me.
Maybe it's a student.
Oh. Dr. Hall's residence? Yes. Who? Archie Scott, a sophomore, yes?
See what I tell you.
I see, Mr. Scott. No, I'm sorry. I'm making no further appointments. I'm leaving on my vacation, as I announced in chapel yesterday. You'd forgotten that. I see. Well, I'd suggest you see your faculty advisor. Yes. Goodbye.
Well, no good luck and Godspeed?
No. The young man wanted to consult me about a change of courses. He's heard me announce our departure, but it has slipped his mind. Mind. I use the word so loosely, it is in danger of falling out of the sentence.
Don't be bitter, dear. Now, here's your hat, here are the keys to the car, and goodbye, number 1 faculty row. Toddy, we're on our way. Now, wave goodbye to Wellman Hall. It won't wave back, but no Wellman has time for little frivolities.
I'm sorry, my darling. It was just the thought of departing without a friendly pat on the head from at least one student.
William, look. What's going on? The road's blocked off ahead.
Hey there, what's the matter? Something wrong?
It's him. It's Dr. Hall. Yes, Dr. Hall, there is something wrong.
What is it, Jimmy? What's wrong?
Well, the art department was making up a beautiful scroll for us to wish you a wonderful summer and thanks for everything, but some idiot spilled a bottle of ink over it. We talked him out of shooting himself. I don't know why. But all we could do then was stop you on your way and say goodbye.
Well, thank you. Thank you all very much.
You just kept Dr. Hall from shooting himself, too.
Well, I haven't got a speech ready, Dr. Hall and Mrs. Hall, but speaking for everybody in this academy of yours, I can say we wish you a wonderfully happy vacation, and if you've got room for it among your luggage, you're taking the affectionate regards of everybody with you. Take care of yourselves because we'll need you in September. May we sing you on your way, sir?
Oh, you may indeed. And thank you again.
Not too good now, or we may decide to stay.
Okay, everybody, the Ivy Alma Mater for a couple of friends.
Oh, we love the halls of ivy that surround us here today, and we will not forget though we be far, far away. Through the hallowed halls of ivy, every voice will bid farewell, and sin were off in twilight like the old vesper bell. One day hush will fall, the footsteps of us all will echo and disappear. But as we sadly start on journeys far
William, didn't Shakespeare have a word about this?
Oh, yes, my love. In The Tempest, remember? Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherits, shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Good night.
Played by Lee Patrick, and Jimmy was Gil Stratton Jr. Tonight's script was written by Don Quinn. Music was composed and conducted by Henry Russell. Ken Carpenter speaking.
Oh, we love the halls of ivy that surround us here today.
This production of The Halls of Ivy was broadcast with an actual audience present in the studio.
Presents the Mel Blanc Show, written by Mac Benoff, with Mary Jane Croft, Joe Kearns, Hans Conried, Dee Benadera, Jill Walker, the sportsman, Victor Miller and his orchestra, and starring the creator of the voice of Bugs Bunny.
What's up, Doc?
Yes, Colgate Tooth Powder for a breath that's sweet and teeth that sparkle brings you the Mel Blanc Show, with Mel playing his new character, Zookie.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hi.
Starring himself in person, Mel Blanc.
Hi, folks. Ugga, ugga, boo, ugga, boo, boo, ugga.
One of the biggest foreign stars to sweep the country these days is James Mason. When a James Mason picture is showing, everybody drops their tea and crumpets and runs to the movies. And so it is in Mel Blanc's little town. The local movie house is crowded, and in the orchestra we hear Sally Brown saying to Joe Howard,
"Oh, Joe, when he said to her, 'You have the most adorable lips in the world,' did that make you think of anything?"
I wanted to kiss you, of course.
And in the loges, Shirley Davis says to Jerry Cooper,
"Jerry, when he said, 'Darling, I could hold you in my arms forever,' did that make you think of anything?"
I thought of holding you in my arms, naturally.
And in the balcony, where Mel Blanc has been sitting with his girl, Betty Colby, Betty is saying,
"Mel, when he said, 'Darling, how I've hungered for you. Oh, I could eat you up alive,' did that make you think of anything?"
It sure did, Betty. I'm going to get another bag of popcorn.
Well, romantic Mel got his popcorn, Betty got bored, and now we find them leaving the movie.
Oh, gosh, that was wonderful. Now, what did you like best about the movie tonight?
Getting in before the prices changed?
No, I mean James Mason. Oh, what a lover. Did you see the way he hit Ann Todd with his cane? Oh, that's real love.
What kind of love is that? All he does is beat women. He hits them all the time.
He only makes $100,000 a year.
Probably gets paid by the lump. Why should he want to act in pictures? He can retire and sell Band-Aids.
You're just jealous.
Oh, those English movies. Everybody's so nonchalant. The hero comes in and says to his wife, "Darling, I've just shot your mother and father. Would you care for a cup of tea?"
And she says, with cream, please. Are they dead? And he says, quite. And she says, what else is new?
You're exaggerating.
Oh, I am not. Betty, if you want to see some real English acting, wait until you see me tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm playing a lover just like James Mason in a play I wrote for Mrs. Grimes. And she's putting it on tomorrow for her favorite charity. That's when you'll really see.
Hello, Betty.
Hello, Father.
Hello, Mr. Colby.
Hello, Mel. I'll bet you took Betty to the movies tonight.
Yeah. How did you know, Mr. Colby?
Well, before Betty left the house, she asked me for 50 cents.
Only 50 cents? Betty, where did you get the other 50 cents from me?
Oh, you nincompoop.
Oh, careful how you talk to me, Mr. Colby. I'm going to be famous. Tomorrow night, I'm acting in a play I wrote for Mrs. Grimes' charity.
You mean that silly banker Grimes' wife is going to put on a play you wrote?
Yes, and when the people see how much better I am than James Mason, I'm sure to get some offers from Hollywood. Who knows? After tomorrow's show, I may be working for Paramount.
No.
Sounds like you're working for MGM.
Listen, Mel, if you so much as get one Hollywood offer, I'll let you marry Betty. How's that?
Why, that's wonderful, Mr. Colby. Thanks.
He thinks he's really going to get an offer. Come along, Betty. I don't want you to be seen walking along the street with a moron.
Well, if you take the back alleys, Mr. Colby, nobody will notice.
What? Oh, come along, Betty.
Goodbye, Mel.
Bye, Betty. So I won't get an offer, huh? What's so tough about acting like James Mason? Emily, where have you been? All you need is an English accent and indigestion. I think I'll walk back to my fix-it shop.
Oh, Melvin.
Oh, it's Mrs. Grimes herself. Hello, Mrs. Grimes. Say, how's the play coming? You look excited about something.
Oh, I am, Melvin. I feel as though I was soaring on fleecy clouds. My feathers ruffled in the breeze, my wings spreading. Ooh, I'm a bird.
Well, pull up a statue and sit down. Tell me, what's on your mind?
Oh, I'm so happy I could burst into song. Oh, and I'm calling you.
With calls like that, no wonder there's a telephone strike.
Your answer true.
If I ever gave her a true answer, she'd shoot herself.
Melvin, stop interrupting. I'm singing the Indian love call.
The Indian love call? No wonder they're a vanishing race. Say, Mrs. Grimes, what are you so excited about?
Oh, Melvin, I have the most wonderful news. James Mason himself is coming to act in your play tomorrow night.
James Mason? But what about me? I didn't write a play for him.
Oh, Melvin, don't be ridiculous. You can't compare yourself with James Mason. But don't worry. I've written a part for you. You're going to be a Chinese detective.
Chinese detective?
Mm-hmm. Well, Melvin, I must be off.
You're not kidding.
I'm calling you.
How do you like that, a Chinese detective? Well, I'll have to be so good I'll still get a Hollywood offer and marry Betty. Let's see, James Mason. To be or not to be, whether 'tis nobler... no, that's no good. Got to start practicing my new part.
Oh, too ticky or not too ticky? Whether 'tis nobler to wash it laundry or make it shirty. Oh, whatever.
Use Colgate tooth powder, keep smiling just right. Use it each morning and use it each night. It cleans your teeth, makes breath so sweet. Use Colgate tooth powder.
Want teeth that sparkle and dazzle, a breath that's fresh and sweet? Then try Colgate tooth powder, for the new all-purpose Colgate tooth powder cleans your teeth and sweetens your breath. Yes, this new all-purpose tooth powder produces an amazingly rich active foam that's marvelously effective. Every time you brush your teeth with this new all-purpose Colgate tooth powder, your whole mouth feels clean, sweet, fresh. Your teeth regain their natural sparkle. It's been proved in 7 cases out of 10 that Colgate tooth powder instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. And as for cleaning, you can depend on Colgate tooth powder revealing the natural brilliance of your teeth. Yes, Colgate tooth powder, the new all-purpose tooth powder, does everything you can expect or ask of a dentifrice.
Try Colgate tooth powder today for teeth that sparkle and a breath that's sweet.
Use Colgate tooth powder.
And now, Victor Miller, the sportsman, and listen to the Mockingbird.
I'm dreaming now of Hallie, sweet Hallie, sweet Hallie. I'm dreaming now of Hallie, for the thought of her is one that never dies. She's sleeping in the valley, the valley, the valley. She's sleeping in the valley, and the mockingbird is singing where she lies. Listen to the mockingbird. Listen to the mockingbird. The mockingbird's still singing o'er her grave. Listen to the mockingbird. Listen to the mockingbird. Still singing where the weeping willows wave. Listen to the mockingbird. Listen to that bird. He's a singing and a mocking and a reeling and a rocking o'er her grave. Mocking of the mockingbird. He's a singing and a mocking where the weeping willows wave. Listen to the singing and the mocking and the reeling and the rocking of the mockingbird. Dreaming now of sweet Hallie, sweet Hallie, she's sleeping in the mockingbird is singing for her grave. The mockingbird.
Well, back to Mel Blanc. Poor Mel is a very disappointed lad. He was to have acted the leading role in a play he wrote for Mrs. Grimes' favorite charity, but she secured the services of James Mason. Now Mel's dreams of Hollywood fame are shattered. And to add to Mel Blanc's misery, who should come along into his fix-it shop but the town beau Brummel, Hartley Benson.
Hello, Hartley. Hot, isn't it?
Naturally, with thousands of women carrying the torch for great big adorable me. Thanks, Mel, old boy. I'm so divine every inch, I could give myself a pinch.
Hartley, the way you talk, you'd think every woman in the country was nuts about you.
Form your own conclusion, Mel, but I'm the only man in the country who was given a lifetime membership in the YWCA.
Oh, Hartley, you and your stories. You're not such a big man with the women.
Oh, no. A botanist at Harvard recently reported that the birds and the bees tell their children about me. So you see, Mel, I'm essential to every young bird.
So are worms.
Oh, that does it. Oh, you exasperate me. In fact, I'm so I could parade. It makes me very happy to deliver this message. Mrs. Grimes has been unable to obtain James Mason, and your play is off.
What?
That's right. No play. Well, I shall be going. I'm so pretty to see, I shall whistle at me. Hello, boy. Nice seeing me.
What a character. He's the only person in the world who has a marriage license with his name signed in both places. Gosh, no play. I'm ruined.
Hello, Mel.
Greetings, great and loyal zebra. How is your fellow voyager on the sea of matrimony?
Mel, if you mean my wife, the word is irrigation ditch. Perhaps she's more of a cross between a water pump and a ditch. Sort of a witch.
But a witch is someone who flies around in the dead of night on an old broom.
Mel, have you ever noticed that our broom has a bicycle seat on it?
Well, if you feel like that, how come you married your wife in the first place?
Mel, it was the third place. I escaped from the first two.
Oh, come now.
All right, Mel, you're right. I'm making things up. When I first married my wife, she had the complexion of a budding rose.
And now?
Withered soup green. Mine was a California wedding, Mel. There I stood under the orange blossoms, marrying the smudge pot. I should have known I was condemned.
Well, how come?
Well, the night before the wedding, her father said I could have anything I wanted to eat. What a woman. Another day I was in the kitchen cooking a seafood dinner. My wife looked at the pot of boiling water and she said, "Come on, John, don't just stand there. Throw in the old crab." Gad, what a temptation. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. It's just that I've got no one to talk to.
Well, think how badly I feel, mighty potentate. Mrs. Grimes is calling off my play because she can't get James Mason.
Mel, I heard about that, but why should you be worried? Why don't you impersonate him?
Yeah, why didn't I think of that? How come you thought of the idea of impersonating a man who beats up women?
Mel, you're speaking of my lifelong ambition. Well, good luck, Mel. I gotta be going now.
Oh, where are you going, mighty potentate?
Well, Mel, I can do one of two things. I can go to the movies and see Smash Up, or I can go home and look at the wreck I married to. So long, Mel.
Gee, that's a wonderful idea you gave me. I'll play the James Mason part and the Chinese detective. I better send Zuki over to tell Mrs. Grimes before she does anything else. Oh, Zuki! Zuki!
But, Zuki, do you think Mel is good enough to impersonate James Mason?
Sure, Mrs. Sure, Toots. Mel is just as handsome. He's just as handsome. He's as good good. He's as attracted to. Well, they both wear pants.
Well, do you think I should give Mel a chance?
Oh, you won't regret it, Mrs. Grimes. When Mel comes out for the final curtain, they'll give him an Oscar. They'll give him an Academy Award. They'll give him a special. They'll give him. Has anybody got a ripe tomato?
Now, Zuki, this is a serious matter. I want you to say, Mrs. Grimes, it is my honest, unbiased, and unprejudiced opinion that Mel cannot fail in his characterization of James Mason.
Okay. Mrs. Grimes, it is my honest, unbiased, and unprejudiced opinion that Mel cannot fail in his characterization of James Mason.
Why, Zuki!
Oh, what I said!
Ladies and gentlemen and friends, as you know, Mel Blanc has written a play for our charity. Tonight he's going to play the part of James Mason and the Chinese detective. So, it is with pleasure that we now present Mel's mystery play entitled Murder During the Music Lesson, or Who Shot the Soprano in the Middle of Her Repertoire? My James, I feel he doesn't love me anymore. We're drifting apart. He hasn't given me a concussion all week. There he is. Oh, James, there you are. My arms have been waiting for you. My lips have been waiting for you. Speak to me. Speak. Speak.
Leave me, cornicle beer. Stop groveling at my feet.
Oh, but I love you.
Oh, stop it. You're spoiling my shine.
James, where were you last night?
What's the use of pretending?
You mean...
Yes, I was out beating another woman.
Well, I still love you. My heart is with you wherever you go. When you go to work, I'm with you. When you go hunting, I'm with you. When you go for a walk, I'm with you.
Well, I'm going to the Turkish bath tonight. Top that. Cornucopia, forget me. Marriage is out of the question. I don't want to be tied down to any one woman.
Oh, but my mother is giving me a dowry of $1 million.
Get the rope.
Oh, I'm so happy. My beloved, shower me with kisses. Shower me. Shower me.
Come now, don't you think you're old enough to take your own shower?
Oh, I'm so happy. I shall ring the butler for some tea.
You ring, madam.
Yes, bring some tea. You know, James, I have a feeling of doom.
So have I. So have I. Oh, stop it already.
Madam.
Yes, Beddoes.
A terrible tragedy has occurred. Your mother has been shot. Tea is served.
Oh, this is terrible. Burroughs, send for Charlie Chan, the detective. And Burroughs?
Yes, madam.
Make mine with lemon.
Madam, the detective.
Oh, watch for the day, the 7th of May. Oh, me come a lot way. Chop, chop.
Tell me, are you Charlie Chan?
Oh, no, he can't come. Me, Charlie Chan's brother, Charlie Horse. Chop, 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 chop. What's up, Doc?
My mother has been shot. Care for some tea?
Yes.
Sugar.
1 lump.
Crumpet.
1 crump. Most unusual case I ever seen. Lady dead 2 hours, apartment not rented yet. Remind me of mystery radio program, the one about Leo DeRosa.
Mystery radio program about Leo DeRosa? What's that?
Suspended. Oh, that's a very cute joke, very clever, timely. Yeah. No. Bring in a butler. Where's a butler? Butler!
Sure I am, sir.
Oh, butler, where was you on night of May 12th, 1950?
But 1950 isn't sure yet.
Very weak alibi. Did you see lady shot?
No, I couldn't. The gun I was shooting was in front of my eyes.
Oh, front of your eyes. That clears you then.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but bring in Sir James. And no one get away from Charlie Horse. And last week we capture Frenchie, the killer. Him got chair. Yeah, Frenchie Fry. Sir James, I wish to interrogate you.
Lost you, no one can interrogate me.
Oh, me no like you. As honorable ancestors say to cross-eyed monsieur, you rub me wrong way. Well, I beastly, very sorry. I mean, so chong.
Nathan, you're getting confused.
Oh, yeah, confused, you see. Him say pip, pip. I mean, on top of them. I mean, chopped. Aye. Oh, very sorry, Opie, I losing my place. I got to mix it up.
Now, that silly play certainly taught you one thing. You're a terrible writer.
And even worse as an actor. You can say that again.
You're a terrible writer.
And even worse. All right. I'll stay in my fix-it shop. I don't want to be an actor. I can't do impersonations. I'll forget the whole thing.
Well, I'm glad to hear you've come to your senses, Mel. And to celebrate, I'll take you both to the movies. They're showing a wonderful Peter Lorre picture.
Peter Lorre? What do you want to go and see him for? I do a much better job. Listen to this.
I went to the morgue and a corpse in back of me fell down on me. But I didn't mind. It was just a friendly slab on the back.
Oh, Mel Blanc!
This is Bud Heaston reminding you that Colgate Tooth Powder for a breath that's sweet and teeth that sparkle brings you the Mel Blanc Show every Tuesday at this time. Be sure to join us again next Tuesday night for more fun with Mel and the people you'll meet in Mel Blanc's Fix-It Shop.
The Ford Dealers of America present the Fred Allen Show. The Fred Allen Show with Fred's guests Victor Moore, Portland Hoffa, Minerva Pius, Peter Donald, Parker Finley, the DeMarco sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And this is Kenny Delmar speaking for your Ford dealer. Whether you use just one truck in your business or a whole fleet, it'll pay you to get all the facts about the new 1949 Ford bonus-built trucks. The most wanted trucks on the road today. There are over 139 models in the Ford truck line, including the 145-horsepower big jobs, rated to pull up to 19.5 tons gross. There's a choice of 3 engines, all with power to spare. There's a $1 million cab that sets a new high in comfort for the driver. A new Ford truck is a pleasure to drive, and best of all, these low-cost performers are an outstandingly good investment because they're bonus-built. Ford trucks are extra strong. They last longer. For all the facts about the new Ford bonus-built trucks for $49, see your Ford dealer tomorrow. Well, what do you know? It's Sunday night again, and here comes Fred Allen driving down Main Street in his new Ford to keep his weekly date at the usual corner. As Fred turns to lock his Ford, he hears a voice say,
Mr. Allen!
Portland. It's strange, Portland. Every Sunday night you seem to be on this same corner at precisely the same time.
You're sure lucky.
Well, how do you mean I'm lucky?
Well, if I wasn't here, how would you start your program?
Well, why don't you not show up some Sunday and find out?
Oh, I'm not that curious.
Not that curious, eh? See, the laugh came in the middle of the joke there. It's the new atom writer I've got in. He's so used to working at Oak Ridge, he hides the laughs in the middle of the joke. Well, Portland, what's new?
The Girl Scouts are celebrating their 37th anniversary.
Oh, good. Are you a Girl Scout?
No, but Mama used to be a campfire girl.
Campfire girl?
When Mama left the campfire girls, they made her an honorary clinker.
An honorary? Well, your mother sure is a solid cinder, I've noticed. What else is in the news, Portland?
A lot of taverns in New Jersey are taking out their television sets.
Oh, I know. Today, if you hear a man in a Jersey saloon say, "Here's looking at you," you know he isn't talking to Arthur Godfrey.
Why are the taverns taking out their sets?
Well, originally, as you may know, they only had television in the taverns. That's how it got started. The shows on television were so bad that they drove the people out of the taverns back into their homes, you see. And then the people began getting television sets in their homes, and the shows started driving the people out of their homes back into the taverns.
That's why the tavern owners are taking out television?
Oh, yes. Now that they have the people back in the taverns, they aren't taking any chances.
Oh.
Have you, that was a worthwhile retort. You accomplished your purpose and ventilated the microphone. Have you any other scoops?
The league.
You want to stop and enjoy what's going on? Let's forge ahead, little knowing how we'll come out of this.
The League for Less Noise is trying to cut down on noise in New York City.
Well, you know, I read that some woman wrote a poem about that.
Oh, I wrote a noise poem, too.
No kidding. What is your noise poem called?
New York.
New York. How does it go?
N for the newsboy with his hue and his cry. E for the L that goes thundering by. W for the whistles traffic cops blow. Y for the yells of hucksters below. O for those orators shouting on curbs. R for the radio blasting their blurbs. K for the kids shrieking loud in each block. These are the noises you hear in New York.
Very good. You put your own yock in there. You weren't thinking. Well, at least it rhymed. There was one grammatical error. Miss Loudon, who makes the radio blasting its blurbs, it should have been. But we'll be forgiven in Boston. I'll run up and apologize tomorrow. Well, I think I'll buzz along and get my paper for
I'm coming, too.
Well, come on. Let's take a run down Main Street. We're a little late.
What's in the paper?
Hey, look at this big ad.
Don't forget the new Henry Morgan program. It follows Fred Allen.
Say, Henry must have spent his first week's salary for that ad. And look at this other ad next to it. Travel and Vacation Show, Rockefeller Center. You know, I'll bet that travel show is mobbed every night.
Do you think most people like to travel?
Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's ask some people now as we're walking down Main Street. This man coming with the high-button moccasins and the cellophane overnight bag. Pardon me, brother.
Claghorn's the name, Senator Claghorn, that is.
Oh, I saw your bag there. Leaving town, Senator?
No, son, I'm just coming back from Professor Einstein's birthday party.
You and Professor Einstein?
Yeah, me and Einstein sat around chewing the fat.
Senator, what could you and Professor Einstein possibly discuss?
Well, son, we had one thing in common.
One thing?
Professor Einstein didn't know what I was talking about.
Yes?
And I never will know what he was talking about.
Well, do you understand Professor Einstein's theory of relativity?
I sure do. If you got a minute in the dictionary, son, I'll explain it to you.
Good. Well, what is it all about?
Well, it's simple, son. Relativity controls space.
Space?
Space is nothing.
Yes?
Everything comes from nothing.
Uh-huh.
You take a small, round piece of nothing, put a little fried dough around it, it's a donut.
Why?
Now, you take a big, round piece of nothing, put some dirt around it, it's a tunnel.
Say.
Take a lot of nothing and wet it, it's an ocean.
And that is relativity?
Yes, son. Professor Einstein knows everything about nothing.
Good. Tell me, not changing the subject, Senator, what's new? What's doing down in Washington?
Well, things is popping, son.
Yeah?
John L. Lewis called out his boys again.
Say, did the miners walk out, upset the president?
Oh, little old Harry ain't worrying about no coal shortage.
No?
He's getting his lumps from Congress.
Tell me, Senator, about our question. Do you think people like to travel?
Well, son, all Democrats like to travel. Democrats are on the go.
I see.
But, son, you can load every plane, you can load every train, you can load every boat with Republicans.
And what will happen?
Nothing. Them Republicans ain't going no place. So long, son. So long.
Well, come on, Portland. What's in that bookstore window?
There's a new bestseller, Where is Everybody?
Where is everybody?
It's the story of a cannibal with amnesia.
Yeah?
The cannibal eats all of the people he knows and forgets.
Then he forgets, huh?
Then he asks himself that question.
What question?
Where is everybody?
Oh, I'll have to get that book. Say, look who's coming out of the drugstore.
Titus Moody.
Hi, Mr. Moody.
Howdy, Bob.
Taking a stroll?
No, I just come out to get Miss Moody a snake ball.
A snake ball?
Miss Moody got a snake bite t'other morning.
Oh, how did it happen?
Why, this snake was trying to go down his hole.
Yes?
Miss Moody kept grabbing him by the tail and pulling him out.
Oh, every time the snake got his head in the hole, Mrs. Moody would grab him by the tail and pull him out?
Every time till the last time.
And the last time?
The snake started backing down the hole. Yep.
Yeah?
And when Miss Moody bent down, he nipped.
He nipped, eh? Well, tell me, was it a garter snake?
He didn't go for no particular spot. He just bit what was handy. Miss Moody is a big woman.
Big woman, eh?
From any angle, there's a lot of Miss Moody that's handy.
But a snake bite, why, that's dangerous.
A little more venom in Miss Moody won't mean nothing.
Oh. Well, Mr. Moody, how do you feel about traveling?
Oh, I don't hold with travel.
You don't?
I was born in my house.
I see.
I've lived all my life in my house.
Well, don't you ever plan to travel?
Oh, someday I reckon I'll travel across the street.
What's across the street?
The cemetery. So long, bud.
So long. let's go, Portland.
This window is full of mottos.
What mottos?
This one says, I wonder if the skunk ever turns around and takes a deep breath.
Well, I hope so. He should get in on it, too.
Look who's crossing the street.
Mrs. Nussbaum.
You were expecting maybe Olivia de Halva?
Tell me, Mrs. Nussbaum, do you think the average person likes to travel?
What is travel? It is going places.
Well, don't you like to go places?
I'm in a place.
Well, I know.
Why should I go to another place?
Oh, you like to stay put.
A rolling cone is gathering no moss.
But wouldn't you like to see the world?
Seeing the world. This is a slogan.
I know.
My little nephew, Ginger Primoff.
Yes?
Ginger is having the wanderlust.
The wanderlust, huh?
One day, Ginger is observing a sign, joining the Navy, also seeing the world.
And your nephew, Ginger, joined the Navy?
He is a second class something, first class, not quite an admiral.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh.
For 2 years, my nephew's going to Europe, to Asia, to down under Australia.
Well, he sure saw the world.
Confidentially, with the Navy, he is seeing nothing.
Nothing?
He is in a submarine.
Oh, a submarine.
In the back yet.
In the back of the... Good night, Mrs. Nussbaum. Well, Portland, walking down Main Street is like a man with one tooth trying to eat an ear of corn. It's a lot of effort, but you don't get much out of it.
You haven't found out much about travel, have you?
No, I haven't. I'll try one more character. This little man gimping along with the agonized expression. Hi, bud.
Here, there, what's who's on my ticket?
How do you do? Ajax Cassidy.
Oh, let me lean on you, boy. Me feet are killing me.
Your feet?
Every step I take, it feels as though my shoes are full of eyeballs and I'm treading on them one at a time.
What's wrong with your feet?
Well, I marched in the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Oh, say, how was the parade, Ajax?
Oh, it was a sight I long remember.
Impressive, eh?
The men of Sligo with their pea green silk hats.
Yes.
The Irish National Guard with their kilts billowing in the wind.
Yes.
The Department of Sanitation band playing Clancy Lowered the Broom.
Good.
And as the Sons of Galway passed 34th Street, a puny individual in front of an English chop house yelled 3 cheers for Sir Cedric Hardwick.
3 cheers for Sir Cedric Hardwick? What happened?
In 2 minutes flat, the English chop house was a parking space.
Tell me, Ajax, do you think the Irish like to travel?
Yeah, sure, me boy. Travel was invented by an Irishman.
What Irishman invented travel?
Fitzpatrick.
Oh, Fitzpatrick.
Haven't you seen Fitzpatrick's travelogues?
Oh, yes.
Up the Columbia River with rod and reel.
Yes.
Through Turkey with knife and fork.
Yes, I know. Well, do you ever travel, Ajax?
Not me, me boy. Only one man in the Cassidy family ever traveled. And it cured us for 2 generations.
What happened?
Me father traveled to Sing Sing.
Sing Sing?
Wasn't bad enough me poor father was leaving for 10 years.
Yes?
He got seasick going up the river. Goodbye.
So long, Ajax. Are you stopping at the music store, Portland?
Yes, I want to hear the record of the week.
Well, what is the record this week?
It's Al Goodman and his orchestra and the 5 DeMarco sisters, and the song is When You're in Love.
Oh, listen, they're going to play it.
When you're in love, the whole world sings a melody. When you're in love, who cares if raindrops fall? When you're in love, the angels walk beside you. They seem to say, heaven's not far away. In country lanes, as you hear the church bells ring, your heart goes winging where birds are singing, and in your heart there's no room for tears and sorrow. That sad tomorrow will never come to you. When you're in love, the whole world sings a melody. you're in love with me, when you're in
Say, Portland, here comes Kenny Delmar. Hey, look at that outfit. Kenny, what are you dressed up for?
Well, today is the first day of spring.
And
tomorrow, Mr. Emil Alvin Hartman, director of New York's famed Fashion Academy, is going to name America's best-dressed women.
Really?
And, Fred, every style-conscious woman hopes her name will be on that list. It's a great honor.
It's like being picked for the All-American. Huh?
Right, Fred. America's best-dressed women make up the greatest fashion team of the year.
Say, Kenny, this Fashion Academy that selects the best-dressed women.
It's the same Fashion Academy that awarded the gold medal to the new Ford as America's fashion car of the year.
Oh, will the new Ford be on Mr. Hartman's best-dressed list tomorrow, too?
No, Fred. Tomorrow is Ladies' Day in the world of fashion. But the new Ford will be first on the list of most new car buyers who are fashion-conscious.
You mean those people who want a really good-looking car?
Yes, Fred, but the 49 Ford has more than fashion-approved styling.
You mean?
I mean the new Ford Feel. New car buyers everywhere should ask their Ford dealers to let them drive a 49 Ford and feel the difference. That's why we ask everybody to get behind the wheel and try the new Ford Feel. Goodbye, Fred.
So long, Kenny. All right, Portland, come away from that fish market.
Look at those oysters.
Oysters?
One oyster has his shell open. I think he's yawning.
Oh, that's silly. Why should an oyster yawn?
Maybe he just got out of bed.
Out of bed?
An oyster bed.
Oh, say, I knew a moron once who ate nothing but oysters. His head came to a blue point. Say, Portland, here's that health restaurant, the Honey House. You want to come in and have a salad?
Oh, it's too late. I have to go home.
All right, I'll see you next Sunday then.
Good night.
Good night. Say, this man coming out of the Honey House looks familiar.
Hello, Fred.
Victor Moore. Victor, what are you doing in a health food restaurant?
Well, I'm building myself up, Fred. Doctor's orders.
Oh, really? Did the doctor examine you?
Yes, he tried to check my blood pressure.
What happened?
No blood.
No blood?
The doctor opened one of my veins. It just hissed at him.
Well, Victor, you look wonderful to me.
It's this health food, Fred. Take the dinner I just finished eating.
What did you have for dinner?
Well, I started off with a health martini.
What is a health martini?
It's a glass of radish juice with a peeled soybean floating in it. Then I had a bowl of hot goat's milk.
Well, how do they make a hot goat's milk?
They build a bonfire under the goat.
And you drink the milk?
Yeah, it's for calcium. Milk builds up your teeth.
Well, has it built up your teeth?
Has it? This morning when I went to put in my upper plate.
Yes?
2 new teeth have grown in the front.
2 new teeth just from the goat's milk?
Yeah, there's only one trouble.
What?
They're goat's teeth.
Well, what else did you have on the dinner?
Well, next I had a heaping dish of spinach.
For the iron?
For the sand.
The sand in the spinach helps you?
Oh, yes, sir. I've eaten so much sand, my floating kidney is bleached.
Well, you keep eating this health food, Victor, you'll be another Superman.
Well, my whole family was strong. My uncle was a lion tamer in the circus.
No kidding.
One day my uncle pried open a lion's mouth and stuck his foot in it.
He put his foot in a lion's mouth? What's your uncle's name?
Hop along more.
Say, he must have been pretty strong.
I take after my uncle, Fred. Feel how solid my arm is.
Oh, Victor, you are a mass of flab.
Yeah, I know, but it's solid flab.
Victor, I don't get it. You're trying to build yourself up to be a muscular brute, and out in Hollywood, you became a star playing a weakling.
Yeah, but Fred, there's a depression out in Hollywood. That's why I came east.
Well, I know, but why build yourself up?
I'm getting ready for radio.
Radio?
Yeah, everybody in NBC is switching over to another network.
But,
when Mr. District Attorney switches, I'll be ready.
Oh. Victor, you can't take Mr. D.A.'s place.
Why not?
Why, those gangsters would give you an awful pushing around.
With my new muscles, they wouldn't dare.
Oh, look, Victor, if you were ever Mr. District Attorney, that program would come out something like this.
Presenting Mr. Mobbuster. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, champion of the people, foe of the underworld, that defender of law and order, Mr. Mobbuster.
Thank you. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I will show you how I dealt with the most dangerous criminal I encountered in my 40 years on the force.
Who was the most dangerous criminal, Mr. Mobbuster?
Charlie the Chicken.
Charlie the Chicken?
Yes, it all started back in 1940. I was in my office at police headquarters welding a thumb on my brass knuckles. When Mulligan, my right-hand man, said...
Chief, I don't understand it. 30 years in office and you ain't caught a criminal yet.
It's just a slump, Mulligan.
67 unsolved murders this week alone. Why, the streets is piled high with bodies.
I'll stop this crime wave, Mulligan. Just give me time.
Who's this?
My secretary. Yes, Miss Finn?
Some guy just left these telephone messages for you, Mr. Mobbuster.
Telephone messages?
Yeah. He says he's been tapping your wire, and when you ain't in, he takes the calls.
Well, don't let that worry you, Chief. The mayor's having the same trouble. Chief, you gotta solve a crime pretty soon. The newspapers are starting to talk.
I gotta get a case. Miss Finn, turn on my shortwave set.
Okay, Chief.
Attention all police. Wanted truck hijacked in Jersey. 2,000 chickens stolen. Charlie the Chicken suspected. Charlie the Chicken suspected.
Charlie the Chicken, Chief, the biggest chicken napper in the country.
This is my big chance.
This case will be a feather in your cap.
Right, Mulligan. I'll bring in Charlie the Chicken single-handed. Where's my 44?
Chief, your 44 ain't here.
Okay, give me 2 22s.
Okay. Let's go, Chief.
This is mighty exciting, Mr. Mobbuster. What happened next?
Chickens were disappearing every day. I got a tip that Charlie the Chicken was going to rob the biggest coop in the Bronx.
You were prepared.
Mulligan and I hid in the chicken coop. Day and night, we sat on 2 nests, disguised as chickens. One night as we sat there in the dark clicking, I heard Mulligan speak.
Chief, I gotta get off this nest.
Quiet, Mulligan. Somebody just came in the coop.
Okay, Chief, I'll get back on the nest. We better start clucking.
All right, who's talking? Who's in here? Who's there? Wait till I flash me searchlight. I thought so. 2 chickens with derbies on.
I got you, Charlie the Chicken.
Tapas, eh? Take that.
We can lay the Chief on this table, Miss Finn.
Okay, Mulligan. Easy now.
We got you back to the office okay, Chief.
What? I can't hear you.
No wonder you can't hear, Chief.
Jeepers, Charlie the Chicken shot off both your ears.
No ears? What will I hang my glasses on?
Gee, you're a sight, Chief. In that chicken coop 3 days. Phew.
Get some of them chicken feathers off you.
I'll comb this mash out of your hair.
Well, scrape this egg off of my badge.
Charlie the Chicken got away clean.
Yes, but I'm a mess. I'll find Charlie the Chicken.
I'll get it, Chief. Don't get up out of that goo. Hello?
Here's Mr. Mobbuster there.
Yeah?
This is the FBI. Charlie the Chicken is going to stick up the Acme Cold Storage plant tonight. Tell Mr. Mobbuster to get going.
Okay, John Edgar.
Who was it, Mulligan?
The FBI. Charlie the Chicken is holding up the Acme Cold Storage plant, Chief. The job is tonight.
This time, Mulligan, Charlie the Chicken is a dead duck.
Let's go, Chief.
You've got us all biting our nails, Mr. Mobbuster. Did you catch Charlie?
Well, not exactly. Miss Finn, Mulligan, and I went to the cold storage plant. We were hiding behind 3 icicles. I heard Mulligan say...
Chief, Charlie the chicken is in that icebox.
Good, I got him trapped.
The icebox is open.
It's Charlie the chicken. He's got a big bag of chicken.
Grab him, Chief.
All right. Charlie the chicken, stick him up.
Coppers, eh? Take this. The other two got away, but you, Mr. Mob Buster, I'm locking you in this icebox.
No, let me out.
You can lay the chief on the floor, Mulligan.
Okay, Miss Finn, he's a solid block of ice. I'll put him down here. You know, that was a good idea, carrying the chief home with these ice tongs.
2 weeks in that icebox. 2 weeks in that icebox, he looks like a human rink.
I'll chip away some of the ice and see if the chief is still alive in there. There, his mouth is free.
How do you feel, Chief?
I'm bird-eyed. Get me out of this frozen kimono.
A couple of more chops, Chief. There you are, Chief.
Oh, I'm stiff and I haven't even had a drink.
Say, your nose is gone, Chief.
Charlie the chicken's a sure shot, Chief.
My ears are gone, my nose is shut off. I'm starting to lose face.
Chief, why don't you call off this manhunt?
Oh, Chief, this code message just come on the teletype.
What is it, Chief?
It's the address of Charlie the Chicken's hideout.
Good, this is your chance.
Charlie the Chicken is as good as plucked.
Let's go, Chief. Is this the joint, Chief?
Yes, Charlie the Chicken is hiding out in this Bowery saloon. Let's go in.
Okay. Say, you better be careful, Chief. This joint looks creepy.
Hey, bartender, Charlie around?
Look behind you, bud.
Clap hands, Chief. Here comes Charlie.
At last, Charlie, I got you.
Nobody's taking Charlie the Chicken alive, copper. Take that.
Gosh, what happened then, Mr. Mobbuster?
Well, Charlie the Chicken made his final getaway. He disappeared completely.
And you?
I was removed from office. When I finally got out of the hospital, I was out of work for 9 years until I got this sustaining job on the radio.
What became of Charlie?
Charlie the Chicken sold all his stolen chickens to a soup company for a fortune. Charlie the Chicken is now living in Florida under the alias of Gordon the Goose. He has a 50-room mansion with a private beach, 3 yachts, 12 speedboats, and a private plane. He spends his days at the track and is engaged to a beautiful movie star.
And so, Mr. Mobbuster, the moral of this story is...
Crime does not pay! How was it, Faye?
Well, it won't work, Victor. You can never take Mr. D.A.'s place.
But I've got to get in the radio.
Say, why don't you just do guest appearances?
Where can I get some guest appearances?
Well, I could call Jack Eigen, but that's past your bedtime. Say, I know where I can get you a job tonight, Victor. Henry Morgan's program follows mine. Now, I'm Henry's sponsor. Come on, I'll take you over to Henry Morgan's program.
Okay, from one chicken coop to another Henry.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, our guest will be Hildegard. Before next Sunday, your Ford dealer invites you to get acquainted with the new Ford in action. Take the wheel, drive the new Ford, and feel the difference. You'll notice it before you've gone a mile. Thank you and good night.
For a half-hour blast, stay tuned to the Henry Morgan program following immediately over most of these stations. Victor Moore can soon be seen in the Warner Brothers picture, Tipped in the Dark.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.